What's up, guys? Welcome back to Higurashi. The wow, this is quite the name. Tatarigoroshi. Every time, it's like I have to like spend a minute thinking about the name. How have you all been? All right, let's get started first. Starting a new chapter, a new time at the school. Oh, really? Oh, what's up, Mion? Your parents came home, huh? Yeah, no more free meals, courtesy of Satoko. They smelled like energy drinks, and their eyes were all bloodshot. Oh, apparently your parents were working their asses off. Note that our parents didn't have this trouble last time. I mean, they had money trouble, but they didn't have this happen. Also, real question. Do people actually smell like energy drinks after they've had Monster or Red Bull? Like they said, these guys said they had a crazy amount of stuff to do and were up 2 nights in a row, but do people honestly smell like energy drinks? Usually it's like alcohol you can smell on people's breath. Like half the time you can't even smell coffee on people's breath, but apparently Japanese energy drinks have a lingering smell. Your brother sometimes smells like energy drinks? Oh, so it's possible. Okay, good to know. Adults have it tough. Apparently so. Dad's an artist, right? They really do have it rough. Come to think of it, he was, wasn't he? I'd very much like to see what kind of things he draws sometime. An artist, yeah? I'd seen a number of watercolor and acrylic paintings on display, but he had to have been doing some other job too. Just what did Dad do exactly? You know, it's possible his dad works for the Yakuza. Because he got moved to a Yakuza-controlled town? Like, why not? It seems plausible, right? He had to move for work? Only if the beverage is already open to get this effect, yeah. He didn't let anyone into his workshop after all. If no one's allowed in his workshop... Yeah, what exactly does my dad do? I'm not allowed in his workshop, but he's apparently an artist. I wanted to sneak a peek one day. Oh, we aren't allowed to see his art. Okay, that's super suspicious, right? Like, your dad's just an artist, you know, he does paintings and shit, and he's like, no, nobody's allowed in my workshop. Not even my kids, not even with my supervision, nobody. That's like huge on the Sesometer, right? So the house was empty for 2 days after all that. Didn't leave much time. So, Kei-chan, did you manage to go after the character who was in your heart? The absence of parents is a must-have for Eroge protagonists. Mion plays Eroge? I didn't know this. Thanks, Mion. Hold up, the dialogue setup's changed. We actually know who's talking. I'm pretty sure that's a setting from the mod, right? F1, toggle NVL ADV mode. Huh. Or did they actually change the dialogue so we can read it like normal people? I don't actually have a problem with that. I'm just curious. Built up a lot of relationship points and raised all the right flags. And now we're back to the way the dialogue was, I think, where we don't have the names of people. That was one thing I liked. I have no idea what any of you are talking about. I think we're back to the original dialogue, right? That means you don't need to cook for yourself anymore, Keiichi-kun. What did you make last night? Mm-hmm. In the end, I didn't make a single thing myself. I didn't make anything myself. The Toko made all the food for me. Last night's dinner, well, it was vegetable stir-fry. Wow, Kei-chan, you can make a little bit of real cooking now, huh? You made vegetable stir-fry? Did it come out good? Did it? Rana, you're being unpleasant. Why are you clinging to me? His dad is a VTuber? A VTuber in the 80s? In 1983? I don't even think they had high-speed internet in 1983, let alone streaming. It certainly was before YouTube, or the precursor to Twitch, Justin TV. It's a hardcore pioneer. Maybe he's just trying to develop streaming technology and failing over and over again. But again, you'd think you'd need infrastructure, like internet infrastructure for this. And he's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and doesn't own a computer. A delicious meal and friendly dishwashing together. How nice, how nice. Wait, together? Together? Hey, I said you're being unpleasant. What are you talking about? Mion, utterly confused, asked me for clarification, but I just barely, albeit transparently, averted my eyes. Remember, he said he made his own... He said he had his own delicious meal and did some friendly dishwashing together, and Mion's like, wait, who the fuck were you washing with? You live alone. Our character's trying to juke that. Right. Anyone have plans for this afternoon? You don't, do you? Dude? It sounds like Reyna, but it looks like Mion speaking due to visuals. Today was Saturday. The beautiful day on which we're liberated from the confines of school in the afternoon. Actually, the school in Hinamizawa had a slightly different Saturday than those in the cities. There were a lot of students here who brought a bento, ate it at lunch, and then went to play in the school or around the schoolyard. You could say the whole school turned into a children's playground. There were mountains beyond the school, and if you went down that way, you'd find mountain streams. You could avoid strong sunlight and make conversation in the classroom if you wanted to. You could also just play hide and seek in the construction pipes. That seems safe. Hey, we have an abandoned Hey, you know what's cheaper? You know what's cheaper than actually making a playground for children in the 80s? We can just send the children to play at an abandoned construction site. There's no way anyone dies there. No way. No way. No way anyone dies there. Seems perfectly safe. Of course, you're free to go home as well. Not that I bet anyone does. There's some kids who went home and helped to water the fields or tended to stores. Seems fair. People got part-time jobs. Or, sorry, you're not allowed part-time jobs. Work for school. Alright. If Mion was bringing up the afternoon like this, then it must have been for some crazy big club event. Oh yeah? Club events now. We're doing club events. Okay. Alright, what's the big club event? However, sadly, I had something I needed to do before taking part in whatever it was. Oh, what are we doing? What's this big thing we're doing? What's this big thing we're taking part in? Ow. Alright, do you have work? That's unlucky. Wait, what are we playing? I wonder what kind of work it is. Maybe helping his father with his artwork job? We don't even know what he does. There's no chance of that. Yes, it's Higurashi time. Or being a model for his father's art? His father's making sculptures? His father makes sculptures? Nude sculptures? That's probably not appropriate. Even for Japan, right? A model? Nude model? A nude one? See? Even she's like, nude modeling? Wait, is that what your father does? Haha. I looked into Reyna's eyes and saw myself completely naked in a questionable pose with a single rose in my mouth. Oh no. I wouldn't do that for 1,000,000 yen. To get rid of Reyna's delusions, I grabbed her head and swung it from side to side. So what you're saying is no nude modeling, but possibly modeling. Oh, stop. Sorry. Leaving your fanciful delusions aside, I have something to do real quick during lunch. I'm okay to meet up with you after I'm done, though. Work during lunch? I see. That sounds kind of cool, actually. What could it be? Are you having a banquet with those VIP experts? Like a business lunch? This is sad, but you're right. What? Everyone shouts wildly surprised. Wait, what's going on? What's he doing at lunch? Who is he eating with? We're fast traveling back home. It was true. Today I'd be on the job with my family. For my dad's job, he was having about 10 people from the publishing agency over for a house party. Why were they not talking in Tokyo? His dad's the author and art designer of the When They Cry series. That explains why the art's so bad in the first few, because he's still in despair at the fact that his kids died. He called people over from work for a party the day after having stayed up 2 nights in a row. I'm amazed at their vitality. You know what I'm amazed at? I'm amazed that he was able to drag like 10 people all the way from Tokyo into the middle of bumfuck nowhere for a dinner party. How does that sound worth it for anyone? Adults have it pretty rough. Of course, it would be incredibly uncomfortable for me. It'd be really tiring having to force myself to smile at some old dudes I didn't know. Do I think Johnny Depp is going to win the trial? Are you with me and they're both going to lose? Defamation's hard to prove. I mean, she's been caught lying a lot. Amber's been caught lying a lot, which would reasonably make, I think would reasonably make the jury suspicious of her, because she's like lying to protect herself and has basically zero credibility. So if she says, I'm not trying to sabotage him, that seems reasonable. And he clearly lost a fuck ton of income from the things she said, the allegations she made about him. It's not completely unreasonable if he wins. Like, proving lost revenue is not hard, considering he just stopped getting work. Like, he literally could not find a fucking job for, like, he's a famous, well-known actor who literally couldn't get work for, like, 2 years. Due to the stuff she said. So, proving lost income is not very hard. Proving that she was lying or making stuff up, all of her allegations seem to have been, like, completely made up, whole cloth. She has zero credibility in the eyes of, like, most of her. I feel like reasonably you could see Depp getting a win here. I mean, it'd be very silly if he didn't, right? This is one of those weird dinner Oh, you're right. This is one of those weird dinner parties in the middle of nowhere. In the village with all the murderers. Dude, this village is filled with fucking murderers. Oh my god, this is the dinner party scenario. This is the dinner party scenario, you know? You know when your, like, friend invites you out to go to his cabin in the woods and you get fucking murdered? Or they invite you to a dinner party and it turns out half the guests are there to murder you? Or the villagers are, like, there to kill you or some shit? These people are literally living that life. Yeah, it's probably a better than average chance that, like, Johnny Depp can win his defamation lawsuit. Since I think he's reasonably proven most of the core components of defamation. Because the main issue with defamation is you have to prove intent, and you have to prove knowledge that it was wrong, right? Those are, like, the main difficult hurdles, is, like, proving that someone was intentionally fucking you over, and you need to prove that the other person knew that it wasn't. I believe you have to prove that they knew it wasn't right, because if you're saying the truth, I don't think you get defamation succeeds in the US. Now, in Japan, it can be true. I believe in Japan, it can be true, and you can still get sued for defamation. In the US, I believe it has to be proven that you knew it was false. So if she says he's being abusive, and then she knows he's not, then all he has to do is prove that he's not. And if he can prove to the jury that, then he's probably okay, right? Or the judge that he's not, like, an abusive, not causing any domestic violence. And, like, right now, most people, I think, are of the opinion that it's the other way around and Heard's actually being abusive to Depp. So, I mean, Public opinion sees the other way, but like we should wait and see what the actual judge says, because I'm not watching 100% of the trial. Yeah, her dug herself a big hole. Has dug herself a big hole with some of the stuff she said. Alright. Well, it's gonna be this meeting's gonna be tiring, but your dad's important business connections, so offending them would be bad. Well, with all that said, it's gonna get very uncomfortable for me today, starting at lunch. Well, what an intelligent child. This is my son, Keiichi. Keiichi, this is Honda-san. He's a publisher. He's a publisher and apparently works for an illustrious car company. And this person is Inoue-san. He works as a printer. Say your hellos. Hello? My name's Keiichi. Come on, he should conveniently be interacting with like Mitsubishi, Nissan-san, Honda-san, and just all Japanese car manufacturers. I appreciate all you've done for my father. Keiichi, do you draw pictures like your father does? We don't even know what our dad does. I want to see them. My dad had such a brazen occupation, that of an artist. Although I don't really know what kind of things he creates. I don't really care, and I don't want to see anyway. Dad's so tight-fisted about it, he doesn't show them to me very often anyway. I'm not a kid anymore, so I wouldn't care at all if they were pictures of naked women or anything. He's not a kid, so he wouldn't care if they were nudes of women. What is he, like 10? You study under your father as an apprentice, you'll be able to become a great artist like him too. Excuse me, this is just between you and me, but... Pause this. I forgot to hit that. Alright. Excuse me, this is just between you and me, but... My dad, is he really that great of an artist? If you want to start a manga, go for it. Just go through the whole damn thing and don't just read like 2 of them. Alright, is Dad actually that good an artist? I readied myself and whispered my question. It might have seemed odd for his son to be asking this, but I mean, the guy literally can't see the art. When I did, he gave me this really strange grin and tightly clamped down on my shoulders. And what was that weird-ass pacing of the dialogue appearing? Yes, he's truly a fantastic artist. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it. There are no purchase restrictions. He does fan service. He always answers the letters he gets. Guys, I'm thinking he isn't just an artist. This sounds more like a manga artist to me. Anyone else thinking his dad writes a manga? Or some form of doujin? I'm thinking he does manga. This sounds like manga more than just like oil paintings, right? Fan service? Answering letters? He could be doing VNs, but the fact that he says fan service makes me think it's art. He said he's an artist, and has like mentioned some of his colored stuff, so I'm guessing he does manga and not light novels. Also, it's the 80s. How many visual novels are in the 80s? He has an inquisitive mind. He's always on the prowl for what the world needs. Taking off your socks? Absolutely not. And that goes for glasses and school uniforms too. Maimara-sensei understands these things perfectly. Every event sees him along the wall with a huge lineup. Remember his dad also goes to like the local Hooters equivalent. Or the local maid cafes, like you never know. I'm sorry, but his pictures aren't the ones you hang on the wall? Not at all! In the beginning, everyone starts in the islands, and then to their corners, and finally climbing the corners of the larger paths. What the fuck is this guy talking about? The final destination is the famous wall! You too, please become a great artist who can display his works in unison with Maimara-sensei. I'll cheer you on! It's fine to have a lot of passion for things you like, but I didn't get it. It seemed the world of art ran pretty deep. It was probably a much deeper world than I could have imagined. I decided to leave it at that. And then I realized my mom was calling me from the other side of the room. I like how our character tried to find out what the fuck his dad actually did, and the person responded with like the most nonsensical answer I've ever seen. Keiichi, it's the phone. It's a friend of yours. A lucky break. Maybe I could get out of this uncomfortable business party by using a friend's phone call as an excuse. I scampered over to the front door and snatched up the receiver my mom had left there. Hello, it's me. Hello, me. That's not how you answer the phone, Keiichi-san. I implore you, learn to choose your words more properly. This is Satoko. I was of the opinion that the person speaking to me had a far stranger way of talking. Oh, it's Satoko. It's unusual for you to call my house. This isn't the time for pleasantries. Keiichi, when are you going to be able to come? Sorry, it looks like this is going to be a bit long. I can't get them to let me go. I want to do things at the club, but... That's not it, Keiichi-san. It wasn't about the club today. It's a real battle. Satoko's voice was different than normal. What? I could feel the urgency in it drifting through the phone. A real battle? That doesn't sound good. What's the situation? I'll explain the particulars when we meet. Anyway, this is a terrible crisis. At this rate, we're gonna lose. What on earth was going on? Could it have been a fight? This is how they're trying to get him out to a game. I didn't know who they were, but laying a hand on someone from Hinamizawa was an absolutely terrible idea. Right, got it. I'll come and reinforce you right away. Where are you at? We're on the Okonomiya Elementary School campus. There are signs at the station. You should be able to figure it out. Anyway, we're in a huge hurry. The school campus. The situation could have a lot of people involved. Could it have turned into a brawl? Who was the enemy here anyway? You're forgetting the fact they don't have cell phones. This could be fucking anybody. This is like, there's like 10 minutes delay, at least, for your arrival. Is the enemy? Oh, I'm on fire. Got it. I'll be there soon. Should I bring a weapon? Like a metal baseball bat or something? You have a metal bat? That'd be fantastic. We'll wait for you here. The call cut off abruptly. I need to hurry. Oh, Keiichi, I was looking for you. Gucci-san here was hoping that for his next Doshinshi. Doshinshi? Okay. Clearly writing dojins. One of them is writing dojins. There's no way. Polite though. Now's not the time. Don't we have a bat? A metal bat? If not, anything along will do. If anything will do, my golf clubs are in the storage room. It didn't have the same impact, but a golf club was a splendid weapon too. It was lighter than a bat and maybe easier for me to use. Thanks. I'm borrowing one. I really need to go see my friends really. It's urgent. Sorry. But Keiichi, what? Wait a minute. I grabbed a golf club, jumped on my bike, and headed straight for town. Okay. Okay, guys. So, first question of the day. If you had to pick a golf club to fight someone off with, which golf club would you use? You gonna pick a putter? A 9-iron? A driver? Because, like, typically drivers have, like, really big heads, but the problem is they usually try to also cut down on the mass, so they're not that heavy. Whereas at least, like, your irons are usually still fairly heavy on the ends. Bit of a tough choice, right? Between bulk and mass. And maybe being a little bit unwieldy. So, I'm thinking like a nice 7-iron might do the trick. 7 or 9 might do the trick. I don't know if I'd go with a driver. Because you want that impact distribution to be focused, right? The wider your impact distribution, the less damage you do. A plastic kid's putter? No, that's not gonna do it. It'll bend in one blow. So I grabbed a golf club, jumped on my bike, and headed for town. Wait for me, Satoko. I'll be right there. Just hold out until then. Alright, I didn't actually know where the elementary school was exactly, but Satoko's phone call seemed to demand urgency, so I rushed out without asking how to get there. But if I went to the station, there'd be signs. At least, I feel like that's what she said. Then I heard the jingling of a bicycle bell from behind me. Hello there. Hey, Rika! Keiichi, you came quickly. You put the pedal to the metal. Damn, this isn't the time to be out of breath. I need to hurry. Sorry, where's Okonomiya Elementary? I'll show you the way. Come along with me. Rika-chan rode off on her bike. I followed her. There's restaurant Sariban here. Satoko suddenly called me out here, but what on earth's going on anyway? At first we had the advantage. However, they called in a helper. It's bad manners. A helper? What cowards, calling for reinforcements the minute they realized they'd lose? They're taking everyone out one by one. We can't put a dent in them. Sounds like they're pretty strong. Anyway, I'll ask about it later. We don't have time, right? Hurry. Leave it to me. With Rika leading the way, we headed straight for the elementary school grounds. Okay, so what game are they playing? I asked Rika something during that time. It seemed all the club members besides me were part of this fight. So what Mion was trying to tell everyone was that this had happened? If I'd known that, I would have just ditched my family job. But it was too late for regrets. According to Rika, we had a one-sided advantage at the start, but our angry foes had brought in a powerful ally. The club members put up a resistance and went against them one-on-one, but apparently they couldn't stand up to them. Why are they fighting one-on-one? Our club is renowned for cheating. The combined efforts of the whole club couldn't win? Just what kind of monster is this guy? It's amazing. The enemy's orthodox. Orthodox? They weren't thuggish brawlers, but actually studied karate or something? Is that what she meant? She's our last ray of hope now. Okinomi Elementary came into view. I could hear many voices raising hell over there. Whoa. Mion. Reina. Totoko. I'll be there soon. I'll crush them all at once. There were a lot of bicycles left out in front of the school. I left mine there next to them the same way, and I could tell there were a lot of people flooding the campus. Were the two armies in the midst of a huge, no-holds-barred brawl? I took my golf club in hand, swung it. I felt the sensation of it sticking firmly to my palm. Great. The feedback wasn't too bad. I'm gonna go all out with this thing. I dashed at breakneck speed to the gates, swinging it around. This is a baseball diamond. That's my first thought. I see this and I'm like, we got our 9 innings, right? The board for 9 innings team names, a bench, and some netting to catch stray balls. Come through, Rika. I'll show what the mighty and manly warrior Keiichi can do. Wow, Keiichi, you're so reliable. You're gonna rampage with a golf club. Rika applauded me, though a little dryly, lauding my valiance. The manly Keiichi put it behind him and headed for the place where he may die. But Keiichi, why did you bring a golf club? I had no choice. At first I figured a baseball bat would have been good, but we don't have one. A golf club's far better than going barehanded, so I brought one. Not very excellent. I'll give you a pat on that. I can't wait to see your golf club rampage. Despite the emergency, Rika reached up and stroked me on the head. Hey, this is no time for jokes. Wait, what? Just then a loud metallic sound rang out, and I heard many people cheering. Left! We missed! Run! Run! You can get to second base, go! They're playing baseball. They're playing baseball. This is what Satoko called him out for? Fucking baseball? I'd be pissed. I fucking hate baseball. Center, calm down, send it to third. Center fielder caught the ball, and after a brief pause, sent it flying to third base. He'd pitched it wildly, it might get there. He gave up on second and threw it to third with time to spare. The instructions from the bench, they were solid. Wait, what? Oh, Keiichi's here. Satoko, Keiichi-kun's here. You're late. Loafing around's only okay when you do it at the bread shop. This might borrow a kid. Will he really be able to save us? Who the hell is this guy and why does he have a Sprite? Who is this guy? Why does he have a Sprite? Literally, nobody in this game has a Sprite if they're not a key character. We're up against the ace of Ushima, left arm Kameda-kun. Why does this guy have a Sprite? Literally the teacher has shown up in 3 games with 10 lines, and she just got a Sprite for the first time. And this guy has a Sprite at all for some reason. Be able to beat a Koshien class pitcher. He must be a god. It's okay. I'm sure Keiichi can turn the tables. He's a really dependable person. What? He's the pitch hitter we brought in to take out left arm Kameda with his bullet fastball? The one who had one no-hit, no-run game after another during the regional qualifiers? The undefeated demon pitcher of Ushima? The super high school level pitcher that's already been marked by professional scouts? He's gonna win against him? Alright, so our goal is to beat a professional baseball pitcher. Some greenhorn pitcher like that's no match for Keiichi-san. He'll send his throws all the way to the back screen for an easy victory. There's a slugger like that in this prefecture? I had no idea. He must have gone under the radar. Wait, that scout stood up. Hey, take a picture. His full name's Keiichi Maibara. Look him over in the database. Send his history to our office. Which one's Keiichi Maibara? Pictures, pictures! A whole lot of sports journalists, led by Satoko, grip their cameras tightly and search for the rumored Keiichi Maibara. Why are there actual sports journalists? As for me, I was so dazed at what was happening. I was frozen in place with my golf club in the air. Keiichi, over here! The camera people stared at me through their viewfinders, and just like I had, they turned to stone. In the hands of their gallant pitch hitter, Keiichi Maibara was a golf club. Nobody could seem to understand why I was holding something like this. At this point, neither did I. Yep, cheep. The sound of the Higurashi. A cold, greasy sweat dripped from me. The first one to break the awkward silence was Reina. Keiichi? Yeah? Maybe ask a question. Please? Please don't. Waves of my entreaty flowed out of my face along with my sweat. It somehow seemed to reach the two of them. The deathly quiet reporters all parted, as Moses once parted the sea. But Moses probably didn't go through the parted seas this quietly. If you were playing baseball, tell me that from the start! What? Did I not say that? I mean, I told you to come to camp with a baseball bat. What else do you think it was? And a matter of thinking caused you to mistakenly bring a golf club here instead. I think Keiichi must have done it on purpose to lighten our moods again. It's pumped, I think. I think? Reina smiled bitterly and covered for me with all her might. She said we were getting our asses beat, and that's it. Please believe her, everyone. I'm begging you. Keiichi loves golf. Pet. He loves golf. That's why he has a golf club. Just one, though. Not an entire set. Rika started patting my head, a broad grin on her face all the while. I pushed her hand away, grabbed her from behind, by her suspenders, and picked her up like a kitten. Okay, we grabbed her by her suspenders. Alright. Rika-chan, why didn't you tell me it was a baseball game when we met at the station? I wouldn't have had to suffer such a disgrace. Rika's smile was like the sun, so incredibly innocent. We're having the shit trolled out of us. And a lolly with it. The best part of Higurashi is the first chapter where Reina has an axe. I mean, it was a pretty good part. I'll be honest about that part. Yeah, we don't see too many axe lollies. Not too many axe lollies these days. Ugh, she's glowing. When I saw Rika's radiant smile, I couldn't help but feel like I could forgive anything she did. However, if Rika thought I actually would, she had another thing coming. Anyway, this is your punishment, Reina. Me? Rika-chan still plucked up in my hand. I offered her to Reina. That's right. The kittenified Rika-chan sent Reina's voltage into overcharge. I'll take her. Reina will take her. Cute. Up, spin. Reina stuck out her tongue like a chameleon and preyed on Rika while spinning around. Rika's so cute. Unimpressed Satoko traumatized Rika. And Reina definitely going all in here. That's gotta be the least impressed Satoko I've ever seen. She's like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? And this poor Reina, poor Rika, sorry. She's like, oh god, why did you do this to me? And then there's also Yang Guifei, looking like Yang, I guess. Rika's so cute, she's so cute. Oh. Reina held her tight as a vice and began to get her fill of rubbing her cheek into Rika's. Their cheeks rubbed together tightly. Rika's face, it looked like it was being crushed by Reina's. I don't know what happened, but it looks like Rika's gotten her just desserts. Yeah. I recently found out that Rika isn't only cute. I got Keiichi-kun's permission. I'm gonna take you home. Me? Me. For the moment, I just gave her a 3-minute timeout. By the way, Satoko, that urgent call was for a baseball game? Yeah, that's correct. You said you had a house party with your family? I suppose I was wrong to ask, but at times of trouble like these, you obviously must prioritize friends over family. I felt like that's what I was supposed to be saying, not you. Well, it was just a business party for my dad, I guess. I honestly felt glad to be called out here. So, what's the crisis situation like? At like 6-7? Which means our team is losing? Huh? Wait. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th? What the heck? This game's almost over. We would have had a little more time if you got here sooner. Do you have any idea how difficult it was for us to hold out this long? Alright, right. I'm sorry. So, what am I doing? Am I going to be the pitch hitter? The pinch hitter? Leave it to me. I may not look like it, but I went to the batting cages a lot before I moved here. My dad went there for fun, and I got used to go with him pretty often. I'm fairly confident about hitting the bat with the ball, but... A tremendous sound rang out, the likes of which I'd never heard before. The catcher's mitt trembled, spinning up a light cloud of dust, telling me the tremendous sound had come from the ball. Yes, Higurashi is a high-quality slice-of-life anime. And visual novel. That's what you should always tell people. Hey, wait a second. What's up with that crazy fastball anyway? Surprised? Yeah. That's a bona fide Koshien level pitcher. Don't you know about left arm Kamada-kun Ace of Ushima? Can't say I do. Wait, Mion? What happened to you? Mion showed up, and to my surprise, she was wrapped in bandages. What the hell just happened? Well, you came late, so we need to explain from the beginning. Oh? Done with Rika? Yep. I have a lot of fun. She's so cute. She's soft, fluffy, and squishy. I could eat her cheeks like 3 meals a day. I can't get married anymore. Oh my god, Reina, what did you do to Rika? She's been stained and can't be married anymore? With the newer sprites, you think you can see the bandages? Okay, let's see it. I wonder how Rika's cheeks taste if you could eat them 3 times a day. I wonder how Rika's cheeks taste if you eat them 3 times a day. 3 times a day? It almost flipped my own delusion switch, but I put a stop to it using logic. I was an adult. Alright, newer sprites active. You think we can see with the bandages with the newer sprites? Alright, explain away. How did things get screwed up enough that a Koshien relief pitcher ended up in a baseball game for fun? Everyone exchanged glasses. Then Reina spoke for all of them. Well, at first, it was a normal baseball game. Nope, she looks normal. It's nothing much. Just a little grudge match between Hinamizawa Fighters and Okinomiya Titans. We were just having a grand old time, really. Nothing much. Well, in simple terms, it was an intramural match. Let's just settle the grudge between Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. We say grudge, but it's all pretty peaceful and friendly. So why is our whole club a part of it? Some of you are wearing uniforms and some aren't. Last I checked, we weren't even in the school baseball team. It was pretty irresponsible. They happened to have some players who couldn't make it today. They were pretty down in the dumps, so we ended up getting involved post-haste. I see. So if there weren't enough members, anyone could come to the rescue, whether boy or girl, and no matter what grade they were in. That jumbled together feeling was the hallmark of our school. But Rika told me we were crushing them at the beginning. Oh, Mi's an amazing batter. She was hitting home runs left and right. Mion proudly stuck out her chest. Doing so seemed to hurt her somehow, and she groaned pathetically. Yep. Every time Mion went to bat, she hit a home run and brought everyone on the bases in. Unlike Satoko, she can actually hit the ball. Rika! I like how Rika's just randomly inject this savage venom. She's like, yeah, unlike some people, Mion can hit the ball. Alright, I think I got the gist of it. So you're having a pretty easy time until Koshien showed up? That's right. It was all us at the beginning. Maybe we didn't get all that many points, but we were always getting people on bases. And Kamada-kun from Ushima just happened to show up to watch the game today. Ushima was apparently a fairly well-known school in our prefecture that frequently sent people to Koshien. And this man was known as the ace of their baseball team. Kamada, he seemed to be quite skilled. Now that I thought about it, it was certainly strange to see cameramen with journalist armbands here to watch a casual baseball game in the sticks like this. I heard when Kamada was little, he was on the Okonomiya Titans. Oh, that's why he's on. You figured it out, right? His little team was losing, so that's why he jumped in as a relief pitcher and took them out. Now it's just terrible. We can't even hit any foul balls, much less get anyone on base. But still, a Koshien pitcher approaching it, it's unfair. We were just playing for fun. All the boys wearing the Hinamizawa Fighters uniform were hanging their heads in disappointment. I knew almost all their faces. Isn't everyone here a classmate? Oh, I see. We're the only school in Hinamizawa after all. Oh, it's Tomita and Okamura-kun. You're on the baseball team? My bar. His uniform was brand new and not very dirty, fresh off the presses. I could see handmade banners with their names written on them in the grandstands. I see, their families came to root for them in their debut game today. Okamura said he just got his bat today as a present from his dad. The brand new bat sparkled. With that kind of present, a man just has to perform well. He practiced swinging a whole lot just for today. Tomita-san, well, he went too far and tore the skin off his hand. See? Unfortunately. His torn hand looked like it hurt, but from that injury, you could sense his backbone. I get it, guys. You wanted to make your big moment a good one. The savior of the Okonomiya Titans. We could hear the sounds of Kamada-kun's tremendous fastball practice. This was no joke. He was definitely on a level far above high school kids. But at his level, he shouldn't have been interrupting a grass lot game, grudge match though it may have been. He should have understood how much better he was, too. This guy. Was he being serious against opponents like these? Yep. Reina thinks it's immature. Reina's eyes grew harsh. It took a lot to get. So this is like a college grad. This is like an all-star college baseball player going in to support a team of elementary school against a bunch of elementary school students. What is he like? What, he has the emotional maturity of like a 12-year-old. He's like, my elementary school team is losing. Where are you? Oh, I'm in my 3rd year of college. I'm the starting pitcher for my team, and I'm probably gonna get recruited to the MLB. I'm getting recruited by Major League Baseball when I graduate. For Major League Baseball when I graduate, and it's like, are you fucking serious? It took a lot to get Reina mad. As for Tomita and Okamura, they were sniffling funny with tears. This guy is he's literally trying to carry his team to victory against elementary school students. As a college kid. We heard another tremendous noise from the mid. Just the fact that he's even playing in this game is pretty pathetic. I turned around and this left-arm Kamada-kun guy was looking at us grinning boldly. Anyway, that's how it is. Now it's come to this, we have no choice. We have to engage in a real battle. Yeah, looks like we have to get serious. Yep, and then we tried getting serious. But then Michan went out with a bang. Mion, embarrassed, scratched her head and a moment later doubled over in pain. Went out with a bang? How on earth did she end up getting injured like this? It took a really long time to explain. The one thing I can say is she came up empty, even though she pushed herself that hard. But I risked my life. I couldn't even get 1 point. Our secret plan did nothing, and now we're really sad. I couldn't imagine what sort of secret plan it was, but it must have been crazy enough to get her badly hurt. It's like when LeBron James beats a bunch of kindergartners at basketball. Congratulations, you beat junior kindergarten students at basketball. They can't even reach the basket if there's they can't even hit the basket from the free throw line, let alone dribble properly. Still though, we're playing baseball thanks to you failing, right? Yep. Maybe Mii-chan's last resort wasn't very baseball-like, I think. I think. We have no other recourse now, do we? It means we need to settle the score front and center in a manner befitting a baseball game. That's right. We have to settle it like baseball. I think normal people would have given up and gone for a frontal attack. But as a member of our club, I'm not about to accept that so easily. Like baseball? I don't know. If we look at it like a baseball game, then we can't be picky, can we? Like baseball? Well, it's our club's creed after all. That's correct. We can't be picky. That's the virtue of our club. Rain and Satoko laughed at each other delightfully. It wasn't really a virtue we could brag about, but the best thing about our club was that we never rolled over and gave up. But the cameras are all watching very closely. It was very hard to cheat. Rika spread her arms wide, indicating the array of reporters in the bleachers. She's right. With all those cameramen watching us through the cameras with giant telephoto lenses, foul play would be pretty tough. I like how they're still like, how do we cheat our way to victory? That's right. That's the bottleneck. Everyone's eyes are on us. We can't be too bold. I never did think Mii-chan's ways were very ladylike though. Satoko and Rika both nodded behind Reina. Let's get down to business. Our team's down 1 run right now. Plus, it's the bottom of 9th. We already have 2 outs. If this old man's plan had gone better, we'd have our bases loaded right about now. There's no point lamenting a failed plan. Our club never loses heart. It always goes on to the next one. Satoko said eagerly, trying to cheer up the downcast Mion whose secret plan had failed. It may have failed, but Satoko still seemed to have another. Satoko, you're pretty cheerful, which means you've got something up your sleeve, eh? Keiichi, who do you think she is? It's Satoko, you know. Satoko Hojo. That's right. We called her Trap Master Satoko, didn't we? She didn't snare her opponent at the perfect moment. The very end. Everyone in our club knew we would never let our guard down against Satoko. Everyone lets their guard down against her. That's how they get her. I may have talked, but she's grown a lot and doesn't seem to want to stop. Sometimes even I'm astonished at how she overcomes such slim margins. What's the plan, Satoko? By the way, me bats next, then Satoko. Me and then Satoko, okay. We were losing by 1 point, so if we could get the next runner on a base, the runner after that could hit a big one and end the match. And that final batter was Satoko? See? You feel like we can win now, right? I can't imagine what she's got set up, but it's gotta be some kind of trap for sure. If I were the opposing pitcher, I'd definitely walk her. There's no way Satoko was gonna hit a home run, even in my dreams. But if she was gonna stand in the batter's box normally, without any kind of plan, I can't think of anything else she could do. And the fact you called me here. I see. I think I know where this is going. It meant I was a necessary piece of the trap. I'm excited. I wonder what Satoko will do. I can't wait to see Satoko's walk-off home run either. Keiichi, it's indispensable for this. Understand? This is our last chance at creating an upset. We absolutely cannot fail. Right, that much I know for sure, but what are we doing? Just watch. Satoko and I will give you all front row seats to the greatest turnaround victory of all time. I'll explain your constructions, Keiichi-san. Lend me your ear for a moment. Satoko and I huddled up in a hidden place and held a briefing that anyone watching could tell was suspicious. I wonder what Maibara and Hojo are talking about. I pray it's not some crazy trick like the one the president used. Our teammates Tomita and Okamura seemed very, very nervous. Reina gave them a wide smile, trying to dispel their anxiety. That probably didn't help. It'll be okay, everyone. Satoko and Keiichi will be able to pull it off for us. But Ryugu, we're up against a Koshian pitcher. I don't know if Satoko's trap will be much good. Now, everyone, be silent and watch. You're gonna get to see an interesting game. Mion, who knew everything about to transpire, looked like she was having a hard time stifling the laughter bubbling within her. She was so terrifying as an enemy, but so reliable as an ally. So we got a couple options. One of them is they're gonna try and take it. I don't think they're gonna try and take out the pitcher, right? It's too late for that. So they're gonna try to find a way to win, but how do they bait that into happening? Mion waved her hands at the Empire. We got a pitch hitter! Alright, here it goes. I, Mion Sonozaki, am switching out with Keiichi Maibara. Are you sure he'll be alright? An umpire turned an uneasy gaze on the pinch hitter who jumped in with a golf club. Don't underestimate Keiichi now. Members of our club were the only ones grinning with wholehearted confidence. Alright, how are we gonna BS our way to victory? How are we BSing our way to victory? Satoko's plan was simple, but scrupulous. It even looked like the entire situation had gone according to her calculations. The fact that we were losing by 1 point, the fact I had come late, the fact Satoko was the last batter. It even felt like this had been set up before the game started. There had been a long time out since I got here, and during that time the opposing pitcher took a bathroom break. Even that felt calculated. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. Maybe she gave him a laxative somehow, calculated to get him to use the bathroom at this exact moment, and while he was a long way up, shut up in the bathroom, our plan would begin. The opposing pitcher, Kamide-kun, wait, what? There he was, in front of the urinal, pleasantly taking care of business. He thought it was only natural he would win at a grass lock game like this, and relax enough to relieve himself without a care in the world. Maybe that's how he wanted to appear. However, his relaxed state itself was our chance. Right now, you've already conceded to our club. I, too, casually walked into the bathroom. There were 3 urinals. Kamade was doing his business at the furthest one. I went to the one next to him. Normally, you leave one urinal open. Kamade seemed to notice me. I'd stood right next to him after all. What, look who it is, the big pinch hitter. He recalled seeing me swing the golf club around like an idiot, and he couldn't resist the urge to laugh. I, however, wasn't frustrated in the slightest. The match had already been won the moment I arrived. The game had been decided as an upset for our team, so all I had to do was push things along exactly the way Satoko planned. I'm the one who should be laughing. This guy is in trouble and he doesn't even know it yet. I wonder if Keiichi can do it. He'll be fine. When Keiichi's serious, he can do this much before breakfast. Tomita and Okamura, our underclassmen, asked another question with trepidation. Is Maibara really going to be able to beat that pitcher? You don't feel any confidence in Keiichi after being in the same class with him? Someday he could be strong enough to control all of humanity. Join Keiichi, and you could easily rule the world. Easily rule the world? The world? That's ambitious. Our teammates exchanged glances. Did Maibara really have such incredible strength? Well, we're gonna find the fuck out. Yeah, what kind of strength could that be? My question caused Kamade to stare in bewilderment, and for a moment he didn't know what to say. Sorry, I don't think I heard you right. Could you say that again? I smiled thinly, looking straight ahead, and said it once more, clearly. I'll say it one more time. Let us win. Wait, what? We're trying to get him to give up? Right to the point. No threats, no beating around the bush or anything. Kamade's brain couldn't figure out the meaning of what I said, and I could tell he was confused. What are you, an idiot? Let you win? Are you insane? I've relayed our demands. What's your reply? Yes or no? Ghost Head saying, like hell I'm letting you win. Is your brain broken? Kamade didn't hide his bewilderment. He didn't want to be around someone who would babble on like this for another second. Those thoughts spilled into his expression and he quickly moved to leave the bathroom. Kamade-kun, what does victory mean for you? Dumb question. Priceless. Absolute supremacy. Nothing else can change it. He grinned lightly as he answered, just to make fun of me. I like a sportsman to say that. Victory decides all. No one can change that. Of course not. No matter what kind of threats or bribes you come to me with, there's nothing valuable enough to make me abandon victory. I was waiting for those words. I, after spinning around 3.5 times, pointed right at Kameda's face. Then don't you think you should ask? Something worth abandoning your precious victory for? What kind of compensation could be given? What are you saying, stupid? There's nothing that could make me do that. He was denying it, but he stopped. He stopped. He was waiting. He was waiting for me to present some attractive conditions. In a magazine interview, you said your favorite foods are grilled meat and you don't like sweets. But you lied about that, didn't you? What? For example, let's say you went to a grilled meat buffet. What exactly would be on your plate? Pork loin? Korean barbecue? A pile of beef tongue? That wouldn't be it. You wouldn't bring meat with you. It would be all the pudding, gelatin, and cake you could eat. The kinds a girl would love. Pretty, cute, and sweet. You love Western treats like that, don't you? Kameda's face turned utterly pale. Our club already knew he ate a mountain of desserts when he went to grilled meat buffet. And we were well aware of his embarrassment at his weakness for sweets, despite his age. Kameda couldn't possibly have known the particular grilled meat buffet chain in Shishibone was owned by a member of the Sonozakis. I'll have to be careful when I go to eat with my parents from now on. No. I love the hearty, bone-in. No. What you like is gentle, cute piles of desserts, topped with colorful creams. It almost makes you think of a girl adorned in frills and ribbons, pure, ignorant of shame. Cute desserts like those girls, so clear and clean. And with your acne-laden face, your sports cuts, and your lust in full display, you sully them. Shut up. That's right. You eat desserts, but you don't love them. You just dirty them, violate them, and chew them. All you do is relish in the enjoyment of soiling them. Please, no more. My secret pleasure's been found out. I can't go on living. Wait, after this? This is what's bothering him? I have to die. You idiot. Don't end your life so easily. Slap. I hit him on the side of his head as hard as I could. Kameda fell down like a girl. His eyes started watering and he broke down. Really? This is making a man burst into tears? A grown adult burst into tears over the fact that he likes sugary sweets. I'm probably the only one in the world who thinks those things while eating desserts. I'm nothing but a pervert pretending to be a proper sportsman. That's right. You're a pervert. This time I didn't hit him. Instead, I clapped my hands down onto his shoulders. Don't cry, Kameda. What's wrong with being a pervert? Done. A man ought to be a pervert, but admitting it sets a man apart from those below him. You've been honest to yourself. You can brag about that. You can be arrogant about it. You can be proud of yourself. Instead of blaming him, I told him to take pride in himself, and Kameda couldn't hide his confusion. I've been deeply moved by what you showed me. Desserts are nothing but sweet foods eaten after meals. That's what I thought this whole time, but I was mistaken, and you showed me that. Thanks to you, I can, starting tomorrow, I'll enjoy my desserts in a different way. For example, strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. Okay. Kameda's throat cried out. The simplicity of strawberry shortcake, indeed. It's somehow old-fashioned, like the Orthodox maids from the gaudy times of the late 1800s. Oh, this is the Angel Mort backdrop. Interesting. Not those flirty maids with short skirts we have now. An Orthodox, fully dressed, authentic maid. It's just strawberries, but please, master, I couldn't prepare any more than this. Please give them a taste. That kind of honesty is unbelievably great. Give them a taste. It's such a turn-on. A turn-on? Because there are only strawberries, the soft, accented cream decoration ends up looking like frills, laces, and embroidery. And then she takes it, splits it with her fork for her master, an elegant aristocrat. No, it would be wilder if she took it and sucked on it vulgarly, like her bad master in his greasy sweat. No, more than that. The dent of the strawberry after plucking it, isn't that even better? You let your tongue crawl all over it? What kind of taste must that be? The dent after you pick up the strawberry? I can't hold it anymore. I'll go to Angel Mort on the way home and make sure I get to my plaything. All I want. The girls dressed up beautifully just for me. I drew closer to the trembling maidens, and then one by one, I'll show them. For everyone I eat, I'll hold my jaw tight, just like this. I praise the kids, wondering which to eat next. Please translate girls as cake, alright? Keiichi seems to be talking about the cake combination platters, emphasis mine. Trembling maidens, aka cake. Is this what I'm showing up? I hold my jaw tight like this and... Has there ever been a man such as this who could speak so passionately about a piece of strawberry shortcake? Apparently not. There was not. There's never been, I say. Such passionate feelings are trying to melt away the stubbornness in Kameda's mind. Kameda, I'll say it one more time. Let us win. But that would... Fine. I won't rely on you. I rejected Kameda outright and turned on my heel. Enough. We've lost this game. It's over. I don't care anymore. Instead, once this game is over, why don't I head down to Angel Mort and get all you can eat of gothic Lolitas decorated like Western dolls in frills and ribbons? Tonight will be the greatest feast I've ever known. Lolitas? All you can eat? Despite being in the bathroom, Kameda put both hands on the floor. I was wrong. What's wrong, Kameda? If you have something to say, then say it. It's the first time I've met someone like you. Until now, I've always thought something was wrong with me. I had to have fun secretly. What are you waiting for, tiny man? I already said, admitting your perversion is what separates boys from men. You're a man entitled to pride. Now reach out your hand and show me how great you really are. Come with me and accept it's our world. Clap. Kameda was crying tears of gratitude, unable to speak. It was the greatest moment it was the moment we exchanged the most zealous handshake the world has ever known. The handshake of the bond of our souls, ardent, intense, tight and steadfast. For a long time, we were in that way. Did they use the sink first? Please tell me they washed their hands first. It was an enthusiastic handshake, as though we were two brothers separated at birth, embracing each other tightly, as if it would give us back the time we'd spent apart. This is a very intense baseball game, isn't it? That was the moment the man who would pass into legend for eating so much during Angel Mort's all-you-can-eat dessert day that he was banned from the restaurant forever was born. He would eventually write in his autobiography that our meeting this day was fate, but none of that had anything to do with this. Then, until later, for now, just play the game the way I described. And with that, I turned on my heel and made to leave the bathroom. But then he stopped me. Wait. At least tell me your name. Who, me? Well, I'm Keiichi Maibara. No. I didn't feel like using my real name. Maybe I should lie to him and use a code name. Just call me... K. K. Wait. Was that actually an embarrassing name? I left the bathroom behind me at a quick pace, hiding my embarrassment. From what I heard later, I apparently looked quite gallant coming out like that. Stoko to Keiichi-san. How did things go? Keiichi to Stoko. Negotiations successful. We settled on an all-you-can-eat dessert at Angel Mort. Mion, no problem, right? 2 guests for Angel Mort's all-you-can-eat dessert. Roger that. I'll set it up. I'm actually quite interested in how you negotiated with him. They had a really fun talk about how dessert is, probably. After that, the game started again. I entered the batter's box as a pinch hitter in place of Mion. But all the pieces were already in place. How did I get... Okay. Boom. The straight pitch whipped by me like a bullet true to its name. The camera heel raised their voices in wonder and clicked their shutters. Why is he being followed by hovers? A sharp pitch as always. He's really going places this summer, isn't he? That golf club pinch hitter standing straight up, too. But Kameda doesn't Kameda look a little strange? It's like he's got a cold sweat. I patted my shoulders with my bat and sneered at him in a relaxed voice. What's wrong, Kameda? Not feeling well today? Wait, this guy looks completely different. I couldn't swing at the ball because I was too busy laughing at it. Was that all you got? You little... The next pitch. With the same incredible speed as before, it curved sharply and should have thrown off the batter's skill. But Keiichi didn't move at all. He just watched coolly. You don't need any little tricks on a straight pitch, Kameda-kun. Do people fall for those curves a lot? Batters around here, that is. Both reporters and all the people watching noticed something was strange here. Was Ushima's Kameda, the pitcher who conquered Koshien, losing the mental battle? The next straight pitch had incredible speed again, but it went a little wild. It was a ball. I snorted, not even bothering to get ready for it. What, Kameda-kun? Scared of going right down the middle? Everyone calls you the best. You'd never walk the batter. Shit. The abnormal, unexpected situation spread confusion throughout the reporters. What is he? Who is this Keiichi Maibara? How can he be so relaxed when faced with that supreme fastball? He's bluffing. He knows he can't win. Kameda would never throw a ball of that, and an insincere guy like that could hit. I don't think it's a bluff. They say at a high level you can see right through others. Kameda is one of the best. Which must mean he can see through that mysterious man's true value. A really business person looking guy took off his sunglasses and gazed on Keiichi. Is this... Could it be? The idiot pinch hitter who came in cheering with them on a golf club was actually a genius? I'm sure baseball has long since lost its charm for him and he's trying to switch over to golf. He's so good at baseball that he's mastering a second sport. Good luck, buddy. Imagine being so good at any sport that you can just master a second sport like that. A genius slugger? A transfer into the golf world? What a tremendous loss for baseball. Stop the presses. We're changing up our sports columns. Really? Really? Ball! It's a full count. This excessive production was, of course, all being dramatized by Satoko. The big shots constantly had their eyes on Kameda. If he were to lose easily, they knew the match would have to have been fixed. Perhaps she wanted this little play of ours to create a mood where it wouldn't be strange for Kameda to lose, but... Satoko, isn't this going too far? Oh, do your best now, Keiichi-san. Today, this game, tomorrow, all of baseball. I don't want scouts actually coming after me. I'm terrified of what would happen when the jig is up. Wait, I can't be making nervous faces now. Ball! Base on balls! Scared, Kameda-kun? I thought you were better than this. Kameda hung his head in feigned dejection. Kei-san, I did all this according to plan, right? Well done, Kameda-kun. Keep going like this for the next batter. Let's wrap this up and then... we'll go get all we can eat. Yes. Kameda-kun and I exchanged evil smiles. For some reason, there were a lot of camera flashers right then. It seemed like our dear journalist friends took it as two worthy rivals smiling to acknowledge each other's strength. As I trotted to the first base, the camera flashes continued almost to the point where they were annoying. When I got to the first base, one of the reporters came over for an interview. Maibara-kun, do you plan on settling the score with Kameda and Koshien? Things seem like they're about to get too big for me. Maybe I should be honest and confess I'm not really into baseball. Koshien? I've never been interested in Japanese baseball. Sorry. Oh, this man right from the start, he was aiming for the world. He might become Japan's first ever big leaguer. What? Conversation was getting fantastically out of hand. Oh, I don't care anymore. I'll strike a guts pose for the cameras in desperation. Yes, Keiichi got on base just as planned. Next, Satoko's at bat. What will she do? What will she do? Alright then. Okay, Satoko. What do you got? Time to get that walk-off home run and win it all. Satoko stepped up to plate, waving the bat around. The reporters couldn't hold back their laughter. Maybe because they'd just seen his battle with me. My bar is finally on base, but it's all over. I see, so this is why Kamada intentionally walked him. He didn't even fight it, he waited for an easier opponent for the final out. But to avoid a direct confrontation like that, we can't make light of him. That Keiichi Maibara. Alright. Come on now, Kamada-san. Come on. Wasn't this guy like a completely different appearance earlier? He actually has the same sprite other way. Okay, weird. You're making fun of me? Who do you think I am anyway? No. Maibara-san was one thing, but you think I'll lose to the likes of you? Whenever this girl stepped up to bat, she'd swung wildly and missed, striking out every time. It might sound rude, but however much Kamada holds back, I don't think she'll be able to hit a home run. I could hear the reporters declaring there's no way a comeback would happen. Wait, what? Satoko swung wildly and missed every time she stepped up to bat? She swung after the sound ended, completely mistiming it. I could hear disappointed voices coming from those rooting for Hinamizawa. It's only natural. Every single batter struck out. Even if worst came to worst, no one would get a hit. And that's why it didn't sound strange when Kamada-kun said this. I can't take it so seriously with someone like you. I'll give you a chance. I'll throw the next one slow and underhanded. Only you get a hit or two so you can go home and brag to mommy. Of course, these lines are part of the plot too. Right out of the corner of his eye, Kamada gives me a look. Was that alright? Kamada, you're a splendid actor. No, compared to Kei-san, nothing. Even that exchange was seen as heated and enthusiastic by the reporters. But Kei-san, however slowly I pitch, can this girl really hit it? Don't worry, throw the ball like planned. We got a good idea of how this will turn out. Our exchange over, Kamada-kun moved from set position into a pitching stance. Come then, throw your merciful pitch. I'll hit a huge home run off it. She struck out every time she was at bat. When I heard that, my vague ideas became firm beliefs. Satoko's just throwing as hard as humanly possible for the first 3 rounds. For the first 9 innings, out of Kamada-kun's hand comes a slow, lazy pitch, as though they were playing catch. Normal people would probably be able to hit it, but for Satoko, who'd been striking out the whole time, just when people started to think that way, the members of our club realized Satoko's trap had begun. It was true. Striking out constantly had been laying the groundwork for this moment. An act. All to make it feel like Kamada letting off the gas wasn't strange at all. Which meant, in other words, the Satoko. Boom. Well, she got it! Look at it go! I don't even need to run, do I? The super huge home run Satoko hit disappeared over the roof of the school. The reporters lost their words at the sight, and then roars of applause. Despite this being what we'd anticipated, I can't help but stare in mute amazement at the gorgeous home run. Satoko just flexing how she's actually good at baseball. Satoko strutted over to first base. Come on, what are you waiting? What are you doing, Keiichi-san? Second base is that way. Satoko, you're really good at baseball. She grinned, showing her fang-like canines in reply. Come to think of it, she played on baseball a lot with Tobita and the others during lunch, didn't she? The fact that they always invited her to play meant she was by no means bad at it. Wait, so her main hobby during lunch is playing baseball, so she actually plays baseball? You purposely struck out all those times? Since before Kamada-kun even got here? You've really got something for every occasion? I say it all the time, do I not? I only have one trap. And when everything's about to come to a conclusion, it's enough. I don't even have to worry. That sounded kind of cool. Basically, she's just bragging about hitting the ball, but when Satoko did it, it looked cool. She's like, I make playing baseball look cool. We crossed the home run plate in order. Me, Satoko, and completed our walk-off home run. Our teammates welcomed us back with their blessings. Maibara, that was amazing, totally cool. I never thought it would happen. Tomita and Okamura praised me. How about that, Tomita? Okamura? I turned things around just fine. Reina thinks you were cool too. Good work. It was nothing. I briskly clapped my hands against Reina's outstretched palm. Satoko did brilliantly too. She gave us our spectacular ending. Who do you think I am? Man, I can't underestimate her. Satoko Hojo. Keiichi was great too. Winning Kameda over like that. The magician of words. Oh, Rika, I don't think that's a compliment. The man with a silver tongue, more like. But really, only Keiichi could have pulled off such a drastic move. I wouldn't have been able to do it all myself. I would very much like you to teach me sometime. If Satoko learned such displays of power, it would be too terrifying to imagine. Yeah, I'm with you, Keiichi. Let's not do that. I'd prefer it if you didn't mimic me. After declaring the match over, the umpire came to us. Oh, he's the umpire. Well, I never. You actually won. I'm shocked. We said Satoko could hit it, didn't we? You didn't believe us at all. The umpire scratched his head apologetically and apologized to Satoko, smiling dryly. Keiichi was amazing too, wasn't he? He's actually the most reliable person here. Well, when I saw him come with that golf club, I certainly had my doubts, but that breathtaking battle against Kameda had me on the edge of my seat. Right, that breathtaking farce. I quirked a wry smile. Not even the Buddha would have realized that while everyone thought this was a fair match, Kameda and I were thinking about our evil, desert-violating ways. Excuse me, Coach. You remember your promise, do you not? Yeah. Guess I have no choice. We did it. Keiichi, this means we're having a barbecue meetup tomorrow. Rana clapped her hands, and we began to dance with joy. So the deal was, if they won the game for them, they were getting barbecue? Tomita and our other teammates were jumping up and down, too. Wait, what's that about? A barbecue meetup? Wait, what on earth is going on? Oh. We made a promise if we won today's game, he'd treat us to a barbecue party with all kinds of high-class meats. It wasn't looking good for a while, then when Kameda-kun appeared, but thanks to Keiichi, we won that privilege. So that's what this is about. It was certainly not a game we could have lost. Harry's big wallet would be so sad. So sad. You're right about that, but I did make a promise. When we eat, we do it without any mercy. We need to feed our growing bodies after all. Alright everyone, tomorrow we dine like kings. Seems like a good bet. All the members of the Hinamizawa fighters raised their fists high in the air and cheered. Rika was petting the head of the Empire, smiling painfully at the off-kilter remarks. He gave her his head and looked like he was about to cry. It looked like the price of victory would be pretty big. You beat me. I have no choice, I promised. Guess I should go shopping for some meat. Coach, get some grade A beef like you promised. We won't forgive you if you buy nothing but vegetables to keep it cheap. The poor man, living in Japan. That's gonna be some expensive beef, my friends. Expensive fucking beef. The umpire they were calling Coach grinned dryly, crestfallen. Umpire? Coach? The uniform he was wearing had Hinamizawa fighters on it. Oh, he's not just the umpire, he's actually the team coach? My Barakun, is that alright? Can I call you that? Yeah. This comeback wouldn't have happened if it weren't for you getting on base. Please come to tomorrow's barbecue. No, besides that, would you please consider joining the team? If you were with us, we would dominate the whole prefecture. Coach, let's leave that aside now. You should be more worried about your wallet. Especially since we kind of cheated our way to victory. Despite the coach being an adult, everyone seemed to get along very well with him. See, if you have deep enough pockets, you can win anything. Coach, huh? Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Irie, Irie? Coach of the Hinamizawa Fighters. He extended his hand to me. I firmly grasped it with my own in reply. So this guy's actually going to be relevant, or maybe he'll be the next murder / disappearance victim? Guess we'll have to find out. I'm Maibara. Nice to meet you. And then the coach took his other hand and began to stroke mine softly. Wait, what? I need an adult. Guys, I need an adult. What smooth hands you have. Such a narrow grain, and you truly take good care of them. So silky smooth. Wait. I must strictly instruct our maids to take this good care of their skin as well. And punish the bad ones who don't. Maids? He has maids? Who is this guy? What are you talking about? Oh, such velvety hands. I want to put them to work. Oh. Coach's eyes were spellbound, and as his delusions floated through his own original magical universe, he made a supremely satisfied smile. How do I put this? Who is this guy? So we have a pedo coach, alright. I can see why there's a lot of school trouble. You look so flustered. Our coach is a little strange. Strange? He's really funny though, you know? I'm not sure I agree, Reina. I felt like you couldn't measure him by saying strange or funny. I really didn't think we'd get along. Alright. The other self in my mind made a witty retort for some reason. Oh, come on. Settle down already. You're making Keiichi uncomfortable. Silky smooth. The coach didn't try to take his hands off mine until Satoko hit him with a threefold wash bucket attack, causing him to faint. Rhina would be a good waifu if she wasn't spoilers. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean there. We got a new tip. Advanced courses with Satoko. Emotional traps, perhaps? It was a peaceful lunch break. Peaceful, he says. What was that? I just heard something really loud from the hallway. What was it? What was it? We rushed into the hallway, and to our surprise, Coach was there with a water bucket on his head. Coach, are you okay? Man, you sure got me. Hello, everyone. Coach greets us, cool and calm. What's going on, Coach? You don't come to school very much. Well, I do come here once a week as part of my job. It had been quiet here for a while, but I totally let my guard down. Satoko's little tricks always come when you least expect them. You okay in those clothes? Oh, I'm fine. I was just thinking of taking a nice bath. This is actually cooling me off. You sure are calm, Coach. In fact, you almost never get mad. It really makes you come off as an adult. She was right. If I were Coach, I would have started running around with the bucket still in my head looking for her. At least take the bucket off so you can see where you're going. His adult way of not getting mad at every little child's prank was admirable. Listen, Maibara, with things like this, changing your perspective just a little can make it either irritating or pleasant. It's about how you react to it. If there's some secret trick to staying calm after getting hit in the head with a bucket filled with water, I'm begging you, tell me. For example, let's say there's this old and traditional family dating back to the Meiji era. Okay. And let's say they had many maids under their employ. Being a large house, of course, they have all kinds of maids, from the veteran ones who turn mean and don't want to give up their jobs to the young ones full of energy. Can you imagine that? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A space filled with dreamy maids in pink and peach, adorned with frills and headbands, with Coach at their center, began spreading out before me. The newer maids, with their youthful vitality, giving all they have to please their master. But the older maids won't allow that to happen. They find fault with everything they do, bullying them, tormenting them all day long. Look, there's still so much dust here. I'm so sorry. Do it over. Splash. A bucket falls upside down on the maid. She's soaking wet and wants to cry, but she still puts on a brave face. Maid. Huh? I don't get it, but it sounds fun. Maybe Rana should be a maid too. Oh, jeez, stop. You've infected even Rana. And you, Kei-chan. Don't go getting lost forever in Coach's world. Don't get lost forever in Coach's world. It's not for this character trait. Coach would be a good person too. Coach would be a good person too. One Satoko Hojo-san sighted. I say, Satoko, what's this? I say, look at all this dust. I say, it's time for you to be punished. But, yeah. Coach plucked Satoko up and started giving her a spanking. Satoko, you're so cute. Satoko could put traps together with such brilliant predictions. It's so strange how she can't predict the very end, though. Is it? I think Satoko wanted this to happen. She wanted it. Satoko wanted this outcome? What do you mean by that? When she plays pranks on people like this, they always get mad and chase her around. Don't you think it's like a form of communication? Sounds like a terrible way to communicate. Don't normally people just say hello? Okay, Keiichi, haven't you heard of it before? People who play pranks are actually lonely and want people to pay attention to them. Rana gave a cool smile and laughing abruptly explained. That's what I mean. If Satoko plays a prank on someone, she wants him to get mad or laugh and chase her. It's like a kitty biting you softly. Don't you think it's cute? So when your pet kittens nibble on you, are they just doing it for attention, or are they hungry? They'll definitely be surprised right here and jump backwards. So I put it in this spot. It'll work for certain. Satoko, regaling us with their trap philosophy, was improving the already brittle trap hell on the mountain. If Rana was right and her traps were to get people to pay attention to her. Oh, all these traps on the mountain. They're basically a crystallized form of those feelings, right? And along with Rika setting trap after trap in the mountains, always waiting for someone to fall into them. But nobody needed to come to this mountain in the first place. Without a doubt, she and Rika had spent a long time imagining how victims caught in the traps would react. Satoko, separated for so long from her beloved Nini, Satoshi. With her stubbornness, she never once said she wanted him to come home. But all the traps sleeping on the mountain told me how Satoko really felt. Hey, are you listening? Oh, sorry. What did you say? All you have to do is pound one nail into a tree trunk like this, and it's already a great trap. If you trip up right there and smack your forehead into it, it would really hurt. A human hammer pushing a nail into your forehead? Yeah, that sounds painful. If it was someone really evil, this trap could put them to death. I do so look forward to seeing what kind of villain gets caught by it. Why do you keep glancing at me? Are you saying you want me to fall for it? I can get hurt, you know. Maybe you shouldn't be using this trap? Is that so? Well, it's true. I can't use traps that love behind them. I'll move this nail here, so if that villain really reforms their behavior, they won't get caught by it. Satoko immersed herself in adjusting the nail's position. Traps of love. Aw. Maybe Coach is right. By reacting a little differently, everything changes. Come to think of it, maybe you can feel a sense of humor and warmth even when Satoko's traps get you. All finished. It's perfect where it is. What do you think, Keiichi-san? Yeah, it's perfect. I hope a villain comes along and gets caught by this one. Of course, it'd be better if that didn't happen. It looked a little painful, but I considered coming here sometime and getting caught in it. He's contemplating just running into a trap on purpose. Keiichi, that's part of how she gets you, my dude. Don't do it. Don't do it, Keiichi. Don't do it, Keiichi. Alright, I'm off. Wait, we just had like a huge scene change. Looks like we're back home. Are we off for the barbecue thing on a new day? Look out for cars. Be back before dinner time. Today is the day of the barbecue party. That was the Hinamizawa Fighters Victory Celebration. Okay. I, of course, having prepare myself, skip breakfast in order to stay hungry. Of course, you're like, well, there's better food, I'll skip breakfast. So, with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible there would be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. Yeah, good plan if there's a competition. Reina was at our usual meeting place. Mion arrived a few minutes later. Great, let's get going. This old man skipped breakfast and is starving to death. I expected nothing less. I went without breakfast and am now in top physical condition. What? You two, skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Reina made sure to eat something. Yeah, you're great, Reina. Breakfast is an important part of the day. I'm sure you'll surpass that unhealthy Mion. Get yourself a nice, springy body and be all over the dirty magazines. The dirty magazines? If I get a nice body, maybe a prince on a white horse will come for Reina too? For Reina? Definitely not happening. If you won't take responsibility for them, Kei-chan, don't give Reina silly ideas. You might start eating breakfast 3 times a day starting tomorrow. Yeah, I can see Reina doing that. Wait, who did this gluttonous princess think was gonna come for her? Anyway. A prince, so, one of the heirs to that Japanese dynasty? It's not impossible, right? I mean, it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Well, anyway, we're all nice and hungry. Let's go and treat ourselves at a big barbecue party. Yeah. Let's go have some fun barbecue. The venue for said barbecue is to be the Furude Shrine grounds where Rika lived. They held events and festivals there, and barbecues too, apparently. It was the place that held all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there's a big village festival coming up, right? Tatarigoroshi or some shit? The scenery you could see from high up was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city. Ooh. New graphic, just stairs though. We left our bicycles at the bottom of the steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. When we arrived on the shrine grounds, the Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and begun setting up for the barbecue early. Of course, Satoko and Rika were there. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us. Oh, you managed to not forget about this. Curses. If you all hadn't come, there'd have been much more meat for me. How truly disappointing it is. You underestimate us, Satoko. You underestimate my power. Wait, was it abilities or power? Ah, who cares? You underestimate us, Satoko. Now that we arrive, you don't think you'll be able to have one bite of that fabulously marveled beef, do you? Remember when we ate our bento here? You and I have fatal differences in reach. It'll be overwhelming once more. What? I can't allow that to happen by any means. Cry and shit all you want. You'll just be watching us fill our mouths with beef. Don't worry though. We'll give the peppers and onions to you. I'll give Satoko lots of grilled squash too. When Satoko heard the word squash, her complexion changed color. When she took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat, it could actually happen. She looked like she was about to cry. I'll go tell Coach. I'll tell him you really love squash. If it's for you, I bet I'll get a whole mountain of specialty squash from all over Japan. How good for you, Satoko. You'll have your pick of the squash. You can have squash from dawn till dusk. 3 meals a day. Poor Satoko. Reina, everyone's bullying me. Satoko tried to leap into Reina's chest. But, oh no, clearly, given another second, Reina's mock punches would have us piled on the ground. So just before Satoko hit Reina, I grabbed her by the nape of her neck and pulled her back. A superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. At least, it was supposed to be. But for Reina, when I caught the leaping, crying Satoko, it looked like I was keeping her to myself. Boom, boom, boom. No, Keiichi-kun. This is Reina's, okay? I'm taking her home. Oh, Reina's, I beat up Mion and Rika like that too. Whoa, hold on there. Ah! Damn, baby. Okay, now where could Rika be? There she is. Reina, over there. Just wait, Satoko. I'll take care of her right away. Then I'm bringing you straight home. Meep. Satoko, you're mean. Oh, Rika, she's so cute too. I'm gonna take her home. Oh, Rika, it serves you right. Satoko laughed in a shrill voice at Rika and Reina's unproductive game of tag while we watched them and sprawled out on the ground. Oh, you're alright, Barbara? Sonozaki? Coach came over and lent us a hand. Yeah, this is just how we communicate, that's all. Don't mind us. If the way we communicate ends up leaving bruises on my face, I don't want any more to do with it. You never learn, do you? Laughed the coach fondly. It made us start to want to laugh too. Satoko's laughter, Rika's yelling, and Reina's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear. A nice, relaxing day. Nothing bad happens. We're only on chapter 4. We're safe. Nothing traumatic today, guys. The adults here knew what they were doing, so the barbecue was ready in short order. As the salad oil dripped onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer. When the coach brought over a big plate with all the meat on it, we all cheered once more. This meat looks amazing. Coach, you really did splurge on it. I made a promise. Can you tell how much all this weighs? It really did cost a lot. Of course it did. Third-rate meat wouldn't be enough of a reward for everything I did yesterday. Yeah. Satoko's definitely the guest of honor today. Yeah, Satoko's the one who hit that last home run after all. She might have got the guy off guard, but the arcade flu was long and true. Satoko's pretty athletic. Not bad at all. She could be one of the best of our generation. She doesn't fall behind in physical ability, even compared to me. Maybe Satoko had a big, bright future in the world of sports. Ho, stop singing my praises. You're making me blush. Satoko's gonna grow up to be one of those. She's gonna grow up to be a fit girl. I see. The athletic type. Satoko, for whom the excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meat being stolen one after the other, was just far too cute. Mabara-san, this is heavy. Mita and Okamura were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate. Whoa, the barbecue's protagonist has arrived. The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. The grilled burning hot meat juices made a tsh noise as they drizzled off. Ooh, this looks good. You need a lot of heat for cooking something on a skewer, so they had grilled the whole plate at once. Yup, can't have a barbecue without some of these. You can say that again. I'll help out, so let's get over here. Up we go. Wow, look. It's amazing. Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Each person received a skewer with vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. And in my right hand were pounds of piping hot barbecue. In my left, a cup of juice I could chug down. If this didn't make you want to dance, you weren't a man. Apparently. I can't hold back any longer. I'm gobbling it down. Not yet, Kei-chan. We got a little ceremony first. Can I have your attention, everyone? The coach, with a cup of beer in his hand, mounted the nearby beer cooler. This is supposed to be a victory celebration, after all. We need an opening statement. I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, a little more of the food's freshness goes away. The Toko stomped on the back of my foot. My word, men your age are so greedy. Can you not wait a little more elegantly? Is everything really showing up on my face? Yes, it is. You're the easiest person to read in the room, Keiji. Is everyone listening? We won a huge game yesterday. It became a hard battle after that amazing pitcher came in. But thanks to an equally reliable savior on our side, we scored a beautiful turnaround victory. Oh yeah, bravo. Okay, a bunch of kids clapping. Both my hands were full, so the adults and older brothers gave us a round of applause. This is to celebrate that victory. As promised, I got a ton of meat for everyone. Eat as much as you want and use that energy on our next game. After a few words of thanks to the fathers and brothers who helped with the barbecue, he led us in a toast. Cheers. They say when toasting you'd normally down the contents of your cup. But we were young. At the toast, all of us immediately began to dig into our skewers. After that, it got really lively, everyone congratulating one another for things they did during the game. Like someone made a great catch, or someone awesome someone looked when stealing a base. Of course, they congratulated me, the saver who appeared to fight against the Koshian pitcher. Even if what I did was thanks to Satoko. Satoko did have a plan, but you're the only one who could have won over Kamada like you did, Kei-chan. You did more than enough to deserve praise. By the way, Keiichi, you went to eat cake with Kamada after that, didn't you? You look like you were best friends. The seeds of friendship spreading between male rivals, something like that? Sort of. Well, it's... I violently brushed through Reina's hair. She turned red in the face for some reason at the mention of friendship between men, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Now, where's the hero? Or where's the heroine, Satoko? Oh, there. She was with Rika in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday. And her teammates spared no compliment for her since, even though he was going easy on her, the fact that she hit a throw from a Koshian pitcher was something else. Satoko was more loquacious than usual. It seemed she was in a great mood. She was flying so high, I thought for a moment of getting a word in to tease her, but she was the leading actress, so I decided not to bully her at all. And as I watched her going at things as lively as usual under the sun, it struck me it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spent with her. But both of these were the real Satoko. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happily or making a big lively fuss like this, just as long as she would keep smiling like this forever. She looks like she's having fun. Quite a lot of it. The coach approached me from behind before I realized it. As he gazed at Satoko from afar like I'd been doing, he addressed me. I could tell he was talking about her. Doesn't it just cleanse your soul to see her smiling? He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. I felt a little embarrassed to admit it, so against my better judgment, I played it off. Really, I don't think her smile could cleanse so much as a plate. I'm sure Satoko would be mad if she heard that. But that part of her is cute, too. Leaving her cute as a side, I could understand him thinking Satoko getting angry for being teased would be funny. Miss Iria, right? Iria? Right? It's Irie. Everyone calls me Coach, though. I'd be happy if you called me Coach as well. My Barca. As he said that, Coach Irie smiled, blushing a little. Coach, you seem to like Satoko a lot. I didn't have any real basis for that. It was just what I felt to be true. Yeah, I do like her. I love her, in fact. When she gets older, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me. What? This guy says some insane shit, doesn't he? After being astonished by this, I hurried to put my mind back in order. I'd heard this coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy shit out of nowhere. According to Mion, if I took everything he said seriously, I physically wouldn't be able to make it. If I was able to ignore that part of him, he seemed like he'd be a funny guy. Oh? Mabara? Did that surprise you? Could it be you're going after Satoko yourself? That might be trouble. I've been going after her for decades now, you know. Coach, Satoko hasn't been alive for much more than a decade. Oh? Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? I must somehow master the art of responding to this coach guy. Yeah. Or report him to the police. One of those two. I'm down with either of them. So we received a lot of words of praise for our actions. Almost too many. Like what? As that conversation was happening. Leaving aside the controversial statements this coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was a very composed individual? I'm surprised. It seems like that. I learned he was composed. Very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. Reading that sentence, phrase by phrase, didn't quite work. It flowed a lot better if you read the whole thing at once, though. I think Satoko deserves more praise for that crazy home run she got. I honestly didn't think she had it in her. Satoko's older brother was more the quiet bookworm type. He probably inherited the exact opposite skill set. Her brother? Right, he meant Satoshi. The one who left Satoko and ran away from home. Satoko's Nini. Satoshi Hojo. The opinions of the tacos in regards to governance. I like crayons. Okay, so they're about... So you're saying they have about the intelligence of your average Marine. Okay. I can see why Bibi is an effective ruler of them, even if it only takes a horny nun to usurp her. Did you not know about it? Toko's older brother, I mean. His name is Satoshi Hojo. He played with the Hinamizawa fighters, too. I wanted him to play a lot more, but then he transferred. I see. So he transferred. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a little more considerate than saying he ran away. Now that he mentioned it, I think it was Reina. I think she says Satoshi transferred too. I don't know the details of him having run away from home at the time, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but... Only her older brother transferred? That's sort of unusual. Everyone having fun was far away, and their cheerful voices distant. The chorus of the cicadas separated us from them, giving me a sense of distance. And at first I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear. But for a long time, Coach didn't respond to my words. So at this point I began to wonder if I'd said something I shouldn't have. Just when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke. Something unfortunate happened. A few things, actually. After informing me that what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk, a little at a time. I like how every time we get told about this event, we get told by a different person. First it was like the detective and Takechi or Takano? And then it was like Takechi, Takano, Shion. And now it's this Coach guy. Like, it's always changing up who's revealing information to us. I guess that's why they gave this guy a Sprite. It's been 3 years already. But around this time of year, I think. Satoko's parents were in an accident. An accident? Yes, at a public park they visited while on vacation, they fell from a viewing platform. It was supposed to be just a little time away from her house with the family. They went for a walk on a path through a nature park after it rained. There was a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view. It was the stage on which the tragedy was set. The metal fixtures in the viewing platform fence deteriorated from time, and with all the rain they'd just gotten, they might have loosened a little bit. Right before Satoko's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. Oh, Satoko's a witness to this, really? There was a river some tens of meters below. That's not much of a river, but I guess it's a stream, more of a stream. The water level was high due to rain and apparently very muddy. And her parents? Coach gave a thin but melancholic smile and touched his paper cup to his lips. Without saying anything, I knew how unfortunate that accident was, and how Satoko's parents had left on an eternal vacation. That's right, they didn't run away, they're on vacation. Then Satoko is, well... I was so focused on being careful with my words, I lost what I was gonna say. A single word. Orphaned. I knew how little consideration it showed, and how much it would hurt Satoko without having to say it out loud. Come to think of it, Satoko lived with Rika. At least that's what I thought I heard from others. Wait, Rika's father died from illness too, and her mother soon after? I felt like I heard she was living by herself. Yeah, she's living with Furude-san right now. They've probably lived many discouraging days without any parents, but they've gotten along by helping each other out. Going on living without protection of parents is very difficult for kids that age, I think. My Baraka-san, you can probably understand that as well. I've only survived because I rely on my parents, so the only reply I could give was to nod. Furude is particularly beloved by the older people in the village. That's right, the seniors love her. As long as she's here, she won't want for much. Come to think of it, you're right. Rika kinda seems like the village mascot sometimes. I don't think she'd have a hard time living here. There's a lot of villagers to simp for her, apparently. Rika could just go, meep, once more and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor, after all. I felt like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would. Yeah, but how long does that kind of cuteness last? Definitely not your whole life. It only applies to Furuta-san in particular. Satoko doesn't have it the same way. Rika being so spoiled was an exception, yep. Upon thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. Yeah, that should be hella hard. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine how much suffering Satoko had to go through just to live. It wasn't difficult to imagine. Was I really thinking that? No, I was only thinking the words. I couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? Yeah, she's a gremlin, what can I say? There's no way I could... I found out she was living apart from her brother, and I kind of just vaguely thought it was rather unfortunate. I mean, she smiles so energetically every day. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Satoko said, "A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all." Those words held a lot more weight now. Yeah, I seriously considered adopting her. Adoption? It's a secret. After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips. Really? A secret? A secret adoption from the pedo coach. I've lived a steady life all these years. I have money, a good reputation, but marriage is the one thing I've never got around to. By law, obviously a single person can't adopt a child. So I can't make Satoko my adopted daughter. Ah, what a shame. Didn't take long for my plan to get her to call me Papa hit a setback. This guy spouts some crazy shit. At first I was only half listening. You should be paying attention. This guy says some really creepy shit like every other sentence. But midway through I realized how rude that was. This coach person. He seriously only wished for this one girl, Satoko, to be happy. That was neither crazy nor was it nonsense. He just wanted her to be happy. Those were his true feelings. Satoko's current lifestyle is probably not a very happy one, but, you know, I want to make it easier for her, even if it's a little. Of course, I can't do much for her but share my leftover food and do errands she's not strong enough to do. Oh, you're wrong. Satoko's happy. What? Coach showed surprise at me having declared that. There's so many people around her that really want her to be happy. She can't possibly feel otherwise. I spoke with a serious expression. Quietly, but firmly all the same. It was my approval of his feelings and my gratitude as Satoko's Nini. Thank you. Still, keep this a secret from her, okay? If she knew I wanted to adopt her, she'd probably get mad and call me a pervert for wanting me to call her Papa. Or for wanting her to call me Papa. Wouldn't that be how it is? I wonder. Satoko might have been somewhat childish, but she's still able to empathize with people. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings got across, Coach grinned satisfied and returned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. Her parents and older brother. She lost her family, had no relatives, and was huddled up with Rika, who was in the same situation. Satoko Hojo. It wouldn't be odd for her to look at life with despair when she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile. Yeah, she's got way too much goddamn energy. I want her to keep smiling forever. It was a naive wish, and yet one he couldn't help but hope for. The words I spoke are the same. What a coincidence. I think the same way. Oh, you too, Maibara? Well, that makes us friends. Let's make a promise. A promise? A simple one, Coach said, giving me a grin. We will never, ever make her cry. Oh, that's not good. If anyone's somehow forgotten, The name of the entire game is Higurashi When They Cry. So the minute it says, let's never make her cry, I'm like, oh, you're in for a bad time. Also, I'm pretty sure they died last arc. So, they could still be on the chopping block. They might die this arc. Yeah, I promise. Coach nodded happily. We exchanged no more words after that. We just sat there comfortably gazing at Satoko and everyone else having a good time. She'd certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring must that have been? Just hypothetically. If you did adopt Satoko, what would you do? That's a tough one. He gave a wry, happy smile and then exaggeratedly tilted his head in contemplation. Well, first, I'd get her to call me master and re-educate her in the ways of a maidservant. What? What? How does this guy pick the craziest time to say some crazy BS? Mabara? I haven't said anything yet? What are you talking about? I heard it loud and clear. Oh, that's right. I clearly said I'd put Satoko on a wooden bondage horse and make her my sex slave. How's it going, Shion? Oh, that sounds nice. Satoko on a wooden horse? Shion's getting very creative. If you're gonna use special apparatus in your exploits, make sure to read up on proper usage. It can be quite dangerous if you don't know your stuff. I get it. They always write labels to only use these things for their intended purpose, after all. You've come back for the word sex slave? That's exactly what Shion said. That's right. Kei-chan, you do understand then. With that, it's time for... My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Wait right there. Don't just show up out of nowhere and start saying crazy shit. Speaking of saying crazy stuff, I thought the Satoko loves talk you were having with the coach was pretty crazy too. I could perform a reenactment of the adoption bit. Want to see... You've been hiding ever since then? Kei-chan, you can't even beat my sister. You're 100 years too early to challenge me. This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins. So she hadn't had a scrap of the reserved quality you'd expect from a little sister. She was a villain no better than her older sister Mion. Press X to doubt her older sister Mion is a serial killer. We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole when I mistook her for Mion. Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okonomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but I think we actually would. My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. This must be what people mean when they say something is like water off a duck's back. Shion, you came. I was disappointed. I thought you wouldn't make it. Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, actually. I figured I'd come and tease you all a little. Coach, why did you call Shion to our victory celebration? How did she contribute to our team's Well, you see, I'm actually the manager for the Hinamizawa Fighters. The manager? No, wait, why weren't you at the game yesterday? That's because I'm like a ghost manager. She seemed to think I forgive her if she'd stuck out her tongue and smiled. I forgive you, Shion. I forgive you. She wasn't sorry at all. What was there to forgive anyway? The match wasn't nearly as pretty without you there. I won't tell you to come to practices, but you could at least come to games to root for us like you used to, maybe? I'll think about it. Maybe I will if Kei-chan joins the Hinamizawa Fighters. I can't get into a cheering mood when there's no good-looking guy on the team. What? I thought we were here to applaud people's abilities at a game, not to look for sexy people. But if I guess that's the only reason she's here, looking for some hot pizza ass, I guess that's her choice. Did Shion just smoothly say something absurd? Yeah, she totally just said you were a hottie. Pay attention. Shion! You little, where'd you come from? Suddenly Mion came running over, lashed onto my shoulders, and pulled me towards her. Aha, it's Mi-chan's little sister. Hello, Shi-chan. Hello, Reina. I'm honored you remember my name. We only met once. Oh, not at all. Thanks to you. Thanks for remembering Reina's name, too. Okay. No, cut the stupid greetings. You're not allowed to solicit K-chan. He's the hope of our club. Don't pull him out and put him in baseball like he's some kind of plant. Mion gave a low growl as she grappled my arm. She looked like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy. Yeah, Keiichi's the star rookie of our club. We can never trade him away. Reina hid a nonchalant bloodthirst behind her smile. She was blocking Shion's way, ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. I felt like this was going to turn into a bloody battle. That's too bad. We'll leave the negotiations for another time. You don't have the right to negotiate. Coach, why'd you call her here too? She's a ghost member. She's been slacking off for the last year. I just thought it'd be more fun if Shion was here. Yes, it definitely worked. That was what he planned all along. Mission accomplished. Hey, Kei-chan, come over here. We're all playing a game. With strings attached, of course. Shi-chan, how about you? The rules are simple, it'll be fun. Should I? I'll just win if I join in, after all. I don't want to ruin my sister's presidential image. Mion, now irritated, turned around with a glare. What is it, sister? Should I join to make this the battle of the siblings? For your sake, I don't think we should, but if you want to. Bleh. Only you play Shion. We're leaving you out. Bleh. Whoa, Mion just avoided a direct confrontation. It seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other. You won't let her play. I was looking forward to seeing you two face off. I hate Shion. I'm bad against her. An angry Mion dragged me away. Her one weakness. Shion. Shion, save me. We're slowly sliding. Do your best. I'll be rooting for you. Go for it, Kei-chan. Yay. Shion waved her hand at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. Can we date, Shion? Alright. Club activities begin, which means I need to clear my mind. What was today's battle? Today's punishment game? I'll take anything on. Okay, Keiichi-san, prepare yourself. We're gonna go all out today. Bring it on. Toko or not, I'll crush you all mercilessly. Reina will profit from your battle and fish herself up a win. And I'll get the manta rays first and ride them to victory. Huh? Rika's flat as a manta. Rika is flat like a manta ray. Flat like a manta ray. Oof. I want to take you home. Haven't heard that one yet. It's not a washing board, it's a manta ray. Okay, everyone, we have a lot of people today, so let's play something easy and simple. Today's game is... Scene, apparently. It's cut to scene. Still going, black screen. I'm gonna click it in 1 second if it doesn't... There we go. Everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue. Shion laughed more uproariously than anyone I'd ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay. Is my getting bombed out of the game really that funny? Man, oh man, Kei-chan's face. He was like, how can you still call yourself human? Damn it, I thought I had it all worked out when I brought up the scissors. If only Satoko and Rika hadn't betrayed me. I was doing great while we maintained a united front, but Satoko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a tiny bit better than me. Ugh. I warned you about trusting Satoko. Kamina-kun and Okumura-kun were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two were victims of Satoko's traps pretty early on as well. Damn. I was trying to do well enough to make up for you two. And once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet. You were gonna have the lowest ranked members of the club play a punishment game, weren't you? Shion remarked, as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget even for a moment. Tomorrow is Merlin. Ooh, tomorrow is Merlin. Could be fun. I'm not rolling for Merlin, though. Not rolling for Merlin. Is that right? Yeah, the punishment. Come to think of it, my Bara-san, when you came up with the punishment game with the president, you looked really heated up. What on earth did you decide on? Earlier, Mion told me to get an Angel Mort uniform ready. Does that have anything to do with it? He told me to get the biggest sads I could find. Sumida and Okamura were giving me these complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and the desire to see something scary all at once. All I could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more I laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. I lost. Oh my. Mabara, what's the matter? You're smiling, crying, and howling. Oh, it's okay. He's pretending to not like it. He can't hide his excitement at the opportunity to gain valuable experience using the punishment game as an excuse. Right? What? What do you mean, valuable experience? I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up in a three-letter word. It was... Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Was he comforting me? Mabara-san, in times where you must accept your gay side, you should imagine you're a domesticated maid. See? Don't sadistic things seem kind of fun? It's nice, isn't it? Red in the face and indulging his imagination, still holding my shoulders, Coach said, "Oh, master," and started twirling around like a ballerina. I had to wonder what kind of word associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was a much different world than was in mine. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of domestication usually isn't maids. Amita, Okamura, your coach is pretty funny. I'm surprised he can even be a coach. Amita and Okamura exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. And then they added he was a nice person most of the time, which is something you'd normally say about a person exactly like this. The coach's questionable revolution slowed to a stop, and his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost making what happened seem like an illusion. He switches gears so damn fast. Let's start cleaning up. Mabara, you seem quite strong. Could you bring the plates to the wash basins and clean them? Right on it. I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash basins. These are heavy. Where are the wash basins? Over there? Figuring I should make it before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. Alright. Cleanup complete, now time for the costume. A lot of the adults who'd been helping out were using wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. Why not just give I asked them and they told me there were more right by the assembly hall, so I decided to head that way. Oh, I would have just left them with them. Rather than multiple basins, there's just one faucet here. I initially thought it would be too small to wash plates as big as these, but it would probably be faster than waiting for a faucet to open up back there. I turned the faucet in the water. Water much nicer looking than it gushed forth. Okay. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try and rub it clean. It didn't go well. Here you go. A sponge and dish soap. You can't wash them with just water. It was Shion. She threw a brand new sponge and container filled with cleaner to me. Oh, thanks. You should have just put them by the basins and left it to the grown-ups. Yeah, absolutely. Just leave it with them. They're taking all the basins. You're always doing the right thing. I got the feeling that wasn't quite a compliment. But it's Shion. She's super cute, so who cares? I answered her with a forced smile. I was surprised to learn you're the manager for the Hanamizawa Fighters. I thought you didn't do stuff like that because it's too much of a bother. Yeah, it is quite a bother. That's why I stopped showing up entirely. Didn't Coach say he wanted you to come back? You should pay a visit once in a while. If I feel like it, I guess. Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Whoops. Couldn't keep washing dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. Shion neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet. Oh, right, I heard something. You were the star player in yesterday's game, weren't you? Stogo hit the run. I think she was the star player. I didn't know she had those kind of reflexes. It surprised me. She's totally different from Satoshi-kun. There's not much doubt that all the athletic ability of the family went to her. Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence. Satoshi? Satoko Hojo's older brother. You know, Satoshi Hojo-kun? Oh, right. You just moved here this year, didn't you, Kei-chan? You wouldn't have met him. I was a little surprised Shion knew about Satoshi. Never met him, but I know a little. After their parents passed away, he transferred to a different school, right? I avoided saying he ran from home and used the slightly more vague words everyone else did. Transferred? Who said anything like that? I hadn't yet realized Shion's tone had changed slightly. Ah, hello, my fellow conspiracy theorist. How's it going, Shion? Well, I mean... Interesting. How old's Shion supposed to be again? 13? 14? Well, I mean, yeah, missing. Who was it then? Yeah, I heard it from someone. He transferred. Who? You said that because you asked someone, right? Who'd I ask? I don't really remember. Even so, he transferred. That's it, right? No, like there's a problem with it? There is one. Does that mean there's a record of his transfer? To another school? And that someone saw it? Or heard about it? Around that time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up in this Shion was, but also how startlingly dangerous her eyes had begun to look. Shion? What's up? You look really serious. With that, Shion realized the expression she was making. She took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to her composed expression from before. Oh, I'm sorry. But Kei-chan, you don't know much about Satoshi, so please don't say you transferred or anything like that. I'm serious. Please? I realized I might have said something I shouldn't have. But I mean, but I wasn't immediately sure what I should apologize for, so I just said one safe word for now. Sorry. I heard it transferred, and I believed it. Was it actually something else? It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he had left his sister and run away. But I had wanted to try and avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realized she was intimidating me and lowered her voice. Sorry. I'm not blaming you for anything, Kei-chan. I was being a little harsh. Sorry. I didn't really mind. That was a fib. I was actually a little scared even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Was there some sort of misunderstanding in saying he transferred? But before I could ask, she turned on her heel to leave. Hey, Shion. Hey, I want to know what Shion looks like. Alternate art Shion. Painful? Like a better looking version of Mion? I think that we can all agree that Shion's a better Mion. Right, good luck. Right, good luck with those. Look like your plate's last. That's the last one you need to wash. Her final remark reminded me of the dishes I so easily forgot about. So immersed in conversation were we that it got pretty late. That was a pretty short conversation, dude. I turned the faucet again to get the water flowing faster. I violently scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I'd finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I realized it, and as the heat that had stuck with us all day dispersed, a nice breeze started blowing. Nice and relaxing. A nice barbecue after winning a strange game. Will this be the end of the chapter? Or are we doing another scene before that? Yep, okay, one more. Okay, everyone can have your attention. Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks. And with that, another fun day drew to its close. In the end, Mion ended the game with a magnificent victory. Satoko and Rika, who'd labored so hard to betray me, fell into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things. People who betray others will one day be betrayed themselves. Never more true, huh? Satoko, you traitor. Aha! You're not the one I want to hear that from, Kei-chan. Brandon didn't fall for anyone's tricks. That's how I got second. Second! Brandon doesn't buy into lies very easily. She has a sharp wit. I'm surprised. She seems like she'd fall for the first lie to come her way. Brandon's not that stupid. And when she's in cute mode, she's unbeatable. Funny you say that, Kei-chan. You decided to prey on others, and right away became prey instead. Make sure you don't fall for those dumb schemes that promise higher returns the more friends you rope in, okay? Wow, she's asking about pyramid schemes. She's referring to pyramid schemes already. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'll try harder. I guess pyramid schemes did get popular in the 80s, right? Because they weren't legal? I believe in like the 80s and 60s, pyramid schemes were like, because they hadn't been outlawed yet, they were like fairly popular, right? I have no clue when they actually got banned for the first time. Let's see. When were pyramid schemes made illegal? That's probably a good question. There's the Ponzi schemes, collection to MLMs. Blah blah blah, both of them are legal, but when did they become illegal? Yeah, most pyramid schemes are unsustainable and often illegal, blah blah blah. Is there a history? Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, I know what it's. Blah blah. 2003, the FTC talked about what it disclosed as a internet-based pyramid scheme. I can't find where. I can find recent examples, but I can't find when it actually became illegal. Oh. When did pyramid schemes become illegal? I have no clue. They're often illegal, but I have no clue. Crypto is kind of a pyramid scheme. Your parents still got caught in pyramid schemes in the 90s? Oh my goodness. People still getting got by pyramid schemes? Is crypto a pyramid scheme? I don't know if crypto's a pyramid scheme. It kind of is. But it's also trying to be a currency. If you want to be a... I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more elements. Like, for most crypto, I feel like there's more elements than just simply being a pyramid scheme. As you're trying to, like, generate value without... Like, crypto mining is a way of generating value by expending energy. Which is sort of like an actual... Which is an actual thing. The value it has is based on people's perception, so it's like it's operating like a currency, but is it a pyramid scheme? I don't know about that. I don't think crypto's a pyramid scheme inherently. Like, I don't think Bitcoin is actually a pyramid scheme. As there is energy being expended to produce the tokens, even if it's not a traditional value thing. Like, people do pay money for electricity, so energy clearly has some value to it. The issue is, like, why people are willing to trade bitcoins around, and it's more like because they have faith in them rather than anything else. Yeah, it's more like there's nothing anchoring crypto rather than that it's a pyramid scheme. That's what I'd say. At least for like your major cryptos. I don't know about the other ones. Like, there's a lot of pump and dump schemes where people like inflate the value. But that isn't necessarily like a pyramid. That is not a pyramid scheme, right? That is like actually a different not a different process, but like a different kind of scam than a pyramid scheme, where pyramid schemes are pretty clearly defined as like, you need to be, for a pyramid scheme, something to be a pyramid scheme, you need to actively be recruiting other people to do something in order for like you to gain value, right? It's about like you need to get in early in a pyramid scheme, and there needs to be people below you, possibly recruited directly by you, in order to make any money out of a pyramid scheme. Whereas you can get into crypto without actually spending real money to get in. Without spending real money to get in, you have NATs. You have NFTs, non-functioning what? Non-functioning testicles? No. I don't think crypto's a pyramid scheme. Like you don't necessarily need new people to buy in. You need someone to be willing to pay money for the crypto, but the crypto itself is actually like kind of an object worth something. And the method of recruitment is not pyramidical in nature. Like, you are not inherently making more money because you're up or down the tree in a pyramid scheme, or before or after you recruited someone. It's entirely based on perceived value of an object and what people are willing to pay for it, rather than like a fixed price or actual guaranteed profits. Because remember, you buy a Bitcoin, and then sure, you can sell it for more later if you buy it when it was really cheap, but you don't know if it's going to go up or down from when you buy it. And whether or not more people buy in or people up or below you buy in, like, it doesn't matter, because it's a completely flat schema. Like, the person at the top of whatever theoretical pyramid you're imagining is not inherently generating more value than the person he recruits. In fact, it might be the opposite, assuming that, like, because you don't know how much they're investing, right? Everyone's gaining and losing equally from the point of their buy-in, in terms of theoretical profit. But the pyramid structure doesn't exist in crypto. It's completely flat. It's completely flat. The diagram of like recruiter to person recruited stops at the second level. It doesn't go any higher, and it also doesn't have any value gain or loss based on whether or not you've recruited someone. So that's pretty safe. That's pretty safely not a pyramid scheme. There are a lot of other scams you can pull off in crypto, though. Alright, he'll try harder. Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in sight when they get into a serious enough game. But despite that, once it's over, I know they can feel refreshed and laugh together. It reminded me of how we were still such good friends. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Keiichi's punishment game. However, can you really implement such a thing? I wouldn't think the store manager would have a thing or two to say, but no. I wonder, maybe Keiichi-kun will be really cute. Cute. I kind of want to see. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'll trip him and make him wipe the floor. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, why couldn't I win now of all times? Whenever I think I'll win today, and then I'll make someone else play the punishment game I lose. Is it not enough? Do I not believe hard enough in victory? Oh. I heard a boing. What was that? Oh, the wailing of the loser tastes like sweet honey. How sad, how sad. Pat. This is how you get stronger, Keiichi-kun. It's like I'm looking at Mii-chan from last year. Wait, Mii-chan last year? Did she always lose and moan about it in the past? How very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated president Mion was once like that. But no need to talk about that. Mion hastily covered Rana's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Mion used to suck at games. Today I learned. Finally, Rika pulled on Satoka's sleeve. Okay, we should be going soon. Oh yes, we must go shopping for dinner, mustn't we? I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Satoko and Rika and decided to head on our way home. Alright, bye. See you tomorrow at school. Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow. Alright, let's go. We began walking down the tall staircase, leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it were never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been already today. Come to think of it, it's still June, huh? We didn't have a rainy season at all this year. Like, all of a sudden it's just, summer, right? Now that I thought about it, she was right. Oh my god, it's been raining so much these last few days. We're definitely in the rainy season, because it's not boiling hot every day. It was June, the season of long rain, of hydrangeas and snails. I hadn't seen a real rainy season since transferring here. According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to get more rainy during the first part of the week. They were warning people about heavy showers. I hope it doesn't run into Watanagashi. That's right. Rainy season's supposed to be rainy. Randa likes all the rain in the rainy season. I actually kind of like the rain too. It keeps the weather cool. Talking about being hot, it's 25 degrees here at night. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Fortunately for me, it's only around 20 at night, and it's like 18 to 20 right now, which is like perfectly acceptable for nighttime weather. What? So much rain makes me depressed. Hey, K-chan. I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, Shion clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact he ran away from home, but I didn't think it was so bad Shion would need to feel mad about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. Why not ask the people who tell you he transfers, aka Reina? I felt like a child, completely ignorant of what he was being scolded for, so I thought spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion. Sotoko had a brother, right? Named Satoshi? Bro, it's still May. I know, it's still May. It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get fucking hot, dude. What? What? As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Reina and Mion lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Mion's looking intense, and why is Reina blushing? Should I have avoided talking about this? That's what they made me think. But I already said it, so that's that. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. What happened to Satoshi again? Did he move away? It was such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around and looked to Reina for assistance. Reina looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke. Wait, did we not tell you? He transferred out. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset. So I answered with the same words Shion gave me. Transfer. Who told you something like that? Huh? I only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said it exactly the same way she had, right down to the thorns in my voice. I like how he copied everything, including the fucking venom. He's like, if you're gonna, I honestly, I've done that before to people. Have you guys done this to people before? I've done it. Where someone tells you something that's wrong, someone else calls you on it, and you go talk to them and you ask them the same question. They give you that response, and you respond the same way the person who, demonstrated that they were completely wrong did. Was like, are you fucking serious? Like, how dumb do you think I am? It doesn't happen very often, though. But I'd 100% do this. When I realized what I did, I immediately tried to soften my remark. If he really transferred, there would be records of it at school and stuff, right? But is there actually anything like that? Mion and Reina, their eyes grew wide, and they were at a loss for words. I started to feel like I was doing something really bad. I thought they were only hiding the fact that Toko's brother ran away out of consideration for her. I'm not trying to blame you for anything, okay? I just wanted to ask what happened to Satoshi, that's all. I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them even looked like I was tormenting them with an impossible question. Or maybe I was actually bullying them. Maybe I lashed out in retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now? Why did I go and say something that made all that meaningless? I couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough, let's drop it now. As I was about to say that, Mion spoke up. It's not like we're hiding it or lying. I hope you understand, that's not what we're trying to do. Mion's tone conveyed her genuine awkwardness. They sounded like the excuses of a child presented with evidence of their own mischief. Satoshi, well, he didn't transfer schools, Mion said, resigning herself. I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So it's okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I wanted to apologize, but right before that, he won't come back. What? Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Reina was extremely clear and resolute. He'll never be back. He won't come back? What? He won't come back home ever since that day. That's a very strange way of putting it. Normally you say he hadn't come back yet. At least, I thought you'd only say it like Reina did if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home. What do you mean he won't come back? Where'd Satoshi go? Don't know. Reina's word choice felt very cold to me. I was checking that the word choice was consistent between the two pages. It was so cold I couldn't muster a response right away. Well, she's right. After that day, Satoshi hasn't returned home. Mion noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Reina said. That is, everyone in the village searched for him. We even got the police to help us look. And well, they started thinking maybe he ran away. They started thinking maybe he ran away? When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. When Satoshi ran away, he probably would have left a letter apologizing to Satoko. That's kind of what I figured. But from the way Mion's talking, it seemed different than just running away from her. The police did an investigation. Satoshi'd been earning money at a part-time job and had put them aside. They learned on the day he vanished, he withdrew it all. And then at Nagoya Station or something, they spotted someone who looked a lot like Satoshi. He withdrew his savings to fund his escape from home, was that it? It seemed consistent enough to me, but before I could say anything... I think that's a lie. Satoshi didn't run away, declared Reina shortly. Wait. So if he didn't transfer schools, or move away, and he didn't run away from home, then what on earth? Stop it, Reina. Mion whispered to her. Reina, however, continued without interruption. Reina's got some courage. And then she said this. Because it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. A curse? It took some time before I understood what Reina meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little. Satoshi talked it. Oh my god, we got zombie faces, guys. Look at that face Reina has. Wait, what does it look like? Oh my god, she's just as terrifying in this art form as well. Reina is looking genuinely terrifying. Satoshi talked to me before he disappeared. He said someone was watching him. Stalking. They even followed him home. He told me when he went to bed they were standing there at his bedside looking down at him. Stop it, Reina. It's a portent of Oyashiro-sama's curse, there's no doubt. I think somewhere deep down Satoshi was probably thinking about abandoning Hinamizawa and running away. Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow that. I said stop it. Oyashiro-sama is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. He'd never allow anyone to abandon Hinamizawa and run away. I apologize for it, but Satoshi probably didn't. It must have been Oyashiro-sama's curse. Look at her fucking face. What does it look like otherwise? Oh, I missed it. She doesn't look that terrifying here, but she actually looks terrifying here. And Mion's just like, what? Mion's just like, are you serious, dude? I hadn't intended to repeat it, but the words came out of my mouth anyway. Oyashiro-sama's curse. The police may have said he ran away, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it, not ever. It's a lie, told by the self-important people in the village who don't want to admit it was the curse. It was the curse, guys. And whether or not you believe it, Oyashiro-sama's curse, it's bonk. Mion struck Reina in the head. And not in a joking way either. I told you, give it a rest, didn't I? Try to be nice, but you're pushing me to my limits. Pushing her to her limits. Actually, there were plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at the moment. For a few minutes after being hit, Reina looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind, because after a while she regained her original calm and almost terrifying expression. We arrived at the place we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. We'd always split up with Mion here, leaving just Reina and me. Hey Kei-chan, didn't I promise to lend you some manga? Wanna come over real quick? You promised that? However, I quickly realized it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone. Oh, I see. Okay, Reina will go home. Maybe she realized it, maybe she didn't. Either way, Mion's got a fuck ton of manga. Thankfully, Reina quickly said she'd go home before us. Man, I don't feel safe walking to Mion's house. I don't feel safe. Bye, Reina. See you tomorrow. I don't feel safe walking to Reina's or to Mion's house. Yep, see you tomorrow. Keiichi, don't be too much of a bother now. It's already evening. I'm just gonna borrow a few books. See ya. Considering the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting. Don't worry about too much about before. After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Reina. I'm not really. I think it was my fault anyway. We weren't trying to hide anything about Satoshi. It's just one of those things we shouldn't mention, you know? At this point, I understood what she meant by that. Judging by our odd interactions with Reina, I understood so well it hurt that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then with Shion too. No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Stop this, Keiichi. We have our own internal monologue now. By the time I tried to warn myself, I'd accidentally spoken already. I won't ask again. Could you tell me honestly? What on earth happened to Satoshi? He ran away, right? For a long time, Mion remained silent. But finally, unable to endure it anymore, she began to speak timidly. Have you ever heard about Oyashiro-sama's curse? A little. I got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it, though. Oyashiro was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa that they worship at the shrine. The same one we had the barbecue at today, in case anyone's wondering. Although the art's different. This time we're looking directly at the main building of the shrine. A few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people working on site died or something, and all the people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. You mean, you murdered him, right? Or you had him killed? You were literally at the center of it, Mion. Stop making shit up, but alright. This is like Mion telling you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, like she wasn't fucking there. Like she wasn't Emperor Palpatine killing his master, Darth Plagueis. Of course it's not a story that Jedi would tell you, because there's only one witness to it, and he's right in front of you. One of the people worked on the dam site died or some shit, yeah, who knows. They blamed it on the curse, that's how it was. Satoshi's dead parents. They were proponents of the dam project. Wasn't everyone in the village against it? Why would they support the project if they lived here? Because some people don't care that much about the building they live in? Like they're not stupid? Dam project would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I heard the village all got together to fight the project, but it was hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but not everyone agreed to stand up to the dam proposal. Satoshi's parents were basically the leaders of those who were all for it. Leaders are the ones for it, Satoko and Satoshi's parents? Yep. The government gathered a lot of compensation money in exchange for the construction of the dam. Yeah, like, why would you not take... If the government offers you a decent deal, a really good deal, why would you not take it? It's like your house is worth, like... First of all, you own a house. Houses are worth an absurd of money and do nothing but go up in value. Then the government turns around and offers you double the asking price for your house. Like, why the fuck would you not sell your house? Go to a way the fuck nicer place or a higher value neighborhood with like a similar house. Then you have even more money for your eventual retirement or family. You're living in a better neighborhood. Like, everything seems good there. I don't know why you wouldn't just move if there was like a damn product there half the time. Alright. There were plenty of people who agree with the proposal because they wanted the money. Yeah, it's easy. Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was in general not very affluent. And not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. Mion's family would be pissed because they have a... Mion's whole family would be super pissed because they have a complete fucking stranglehold and a literal monopoly on like every single service and store in the region. So they'd lose their livelihoods, and that would be a problem. So I can see why Mion's family wouldn't, but like, if you just own a house in the region and you're like working for someone, like who gives a shit? It's not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. It wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life, but even in that case, they would have to hesitate to say so given the situation. It just so happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be their representative. By that standard, you might say that they're very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much who didn't have a voice. And then, their parents had bad luck. They died in an accident the day of the festival honoring Oyashiro-sama. So people started to think maybe it was the curse. I thought back to what Coach told me. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff. So people thought Satoshi running from home was because of the curse? Well, yeah, basically. It was a bit of an evasive reply, but it felt wrong to ask further, so I didn't press for details. I don't think I need to explain this, but for Satoko, her parents' accident and Satoshi running away, all the business about the curse, none of it's a happy story, you know? Of course, that's fair. I could only nod silently. That's why we don't mention anything about her family. Even if someone asks about Satoshi, just lie and say you transferred. You understand why, right? They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even for a short while, I really did regret having been impudent enough to broach the topic to begin with. It's okay. I think the truth's more important anyway. If he doesn't know, he needs to know the truth. If you don't intend to know Satoko personally, or don't have a stake in the answer, then it's fine to not know the truth. Yeah, I get it. Sorry I asked something so careless. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. With that understanding, thinking I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'd stop by the next time I had the chance. Hi then, Mion. Sorry about today. See you tomorrow. Yeah, goodbye. We waved to each other, and then suddenly remembering something, Mion called out to me. Kei-chan, one more thing. Not only around Satoko, keep quiet about Satoshi with Reina too, right? Huh? I think you realized earlier, but for some reason when it comes to Oyashiro's curse, she gets extremely serious. Ever since she transferred here. Yeah, judging by how Reina was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter. Mion interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been here, what the hell might have happened? Why would Reina be so serious about it? Not only Reina either, but Shion. I don't know. Oh, Reina is... Oh, this is a secret, okay? If you tell anyone, we're not friends anymore. Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded further. So many secrets today. I won't tell. What's this about Reina? She says she's been a victim of the curse before. What? Well, it might sound mean, but I think it might be a bad case of a persecution complex or some kind of wrong assumption. But she says so herself, so I believe her. If I poke fun at it, she gets pretty upset. Reina jokes around all the time, but she's really scary when she's mad. Yeah, I get it. Don't talk about it in front of Reina, right? Okay, about Satoshi. Yeah, if possible, I think we shouldn't talk about this ever again. For her sake. And for Satoko's. For everyone else's too, apparently. I must say, for her own sake too, Kei-chan. With her silence, Mion made sure I knew that. Yeah, okay. I got it. Thanks. Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go a little dazed and started walking myself. Satoko's older brother Satoshi. Had he run away from home? Had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile. I mean, I feel like you should probably solve most murders and disappearances if you're a police officer, but it's clearly not your character's place to do that, right? You're like a 14-year-old school. You're a 14-year-old high schooler. I wanted Satoko to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me, and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I'm fucking shameful. No, you're not shameful. You're shameless, my friend. But it's good. I can appreciate someone wanting to know the truth. I want today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be as fun as today. Why'd I go and do something like that? We're having a blast at the game. And today we had a blast at the barbecue party too. It was a lot of fun. And then I went and fucking nullified all that fun. Ah. I hate when that happens. I'd have to be more careful starting tomorrow. I'd put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm gonna let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. But the more I thought about it, the more I'd be more careful starting tomorrow. The more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I'd already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Hey wait, calm down, Keiichi. The gears of destiny are gigantic, aren't they? What happened now is trivial. It doesn't make any sense to think my life will be different starting tomorrow. Even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as today. I'm acting weird. I'm thinking too much about that conversation. I wish tomorrow would come already. I wanted to make it to make me understand how absurd my doubts really were. The night was long. But the morning will be better, right, Keiichi? Right, Keiichi? Hey. That, I think, the end of the chapter. 3 new tips. Blocking manager, the preliminary autopsy. East round 3. Okay. Let's see the tips. The slacking manager. Oh, sweet. It's more Shion. What's up, Shion? Shion-san, why don't you help out a little? Are you asking a girl to carry something heavy? Is this why you still had found a nice lady your age, coach? Oh, this is. Oh, well, you see, at times like these, here's what people say. It's none of your business. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we'd used for today's barbecue. All the fathers and sons who helped were starting to get on their way. Alright, so, Shion-san, why'd you come all the way here? If you rode here on your bike, I can give you a lift. I did, but I'll be fine riding back. I appreciate the consideration. I'm glad you came out today. Things don't quite fit together without the manager here. Am I still the manager? I've been shirking my duty for an entire year. Maybe you should just fire such an incompetent manager already. Alright, if you say you want to quit, I'll fire you whenever you want. Ah, that's not fair. Let me go soon, please. Every time I don't show up at the game, I get an annoying phone call, and I can't stand those. If you are more honest with yourself, Shion, you'd be far cuter. Your father is so sad. Where did he go so wrong as to deserve such a rebellious daughter? Or perhaps if your father catches you in a big, loving embrace, you'll open your eyes? Well, don't mind if I do. Come here. Coach was fooling around with all his might, but Shion smiled into the distance without responding. She's resistant to the creepy, crazy Coach. Nothing's changed. You're still a weirdo, Coach, and everyone's still as lively as ever. Even though Satoshi isn't here. Is that what you wanted to say? He'll come home. I'm sure of it. He has someone waiting for him. Say whatever you want. He sure is cruel, isn't he? Going off who knows where, leaving such a cute girlfriend behind. Girlfriend? Who? Huh? Oh, jeez. Quit laughing already. Quit laughing already. Coach! Coach bent over and laughed heartily for a little while. We'll see each other again. Please come and root for us once in a while, okay? If I feel like it. I have no desire to be manager anymore, after all. That's fine. If you don't like it, I'll fire you. I'm not the kind of person who likes forcing people to do things against their will. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You win this round. If I feel like it, I'll come root for you, so for today, just be patient. That time already? It's past time to return all this. I'm already making them wait for me. I'll be leaving today then. Let's meet again next game. Yeah, if I feel like it. Goodbye, coach. Rest in peace, Satoshi. Poor Mion. Or Persian. The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. Entire body bound in restraints. Braces left behind from when bodies seemed to have been bound indicated usage of a specific restraining table rather than rope or another common method. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely the table was either specially made or homemade given this information. Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Traces of restraint and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who severed these body parts holding the victim's head. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them likely being scissors or shears. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand for a total of 30. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it's likely the table was originally designed for such a purpose. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the Oji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's possible they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed this body. The dumbbell itself. Or the size of the body. To Uishi-san. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy report of the slaughtered corpse in the Oji River. Chief Shigeharu sees this as having a possible relation to the S group. What are your thoughts, Uishi-san? That was suddenly a dark and ominous report after all this lighthearted stuff. Whew, that was a really dark out of nowhere. It's like, okay, we have like vague references to disappearances, and then it's just like, bam, back to the body from the prologue for like 2 seconds. There it is, Ron. 3 Chun, 3 Dora, Mongan with 1,500 extra. This would be oh, what I'm blanking on the name of the Mahjong. This is Mahjong, right? What's up with that? How do you have 3 Dora? Idiot. You're the one who flipped over another Condora when you knew Ushi was in Tenpai. That's what you get. Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing the tune. Can't discard a Dora tile after a Yakuhai is out. Ushi grinned meaningfully at his buddies, swearing. As his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them. By the way, Ushi-san, identified her yet? What? Oh, the mutilated body in the drainage channel. Any new leads come up? Well, you have to find proof yourself, though. You're really something. Who is the deceased? Rina Mamiya, actual name Ritsuko. Apparently she worked for the Blue Mermaid, a hostess bar on the Shishibone Flower Road. That's a nasty place. A young leader of the Sonozakis owns it, right? Sonozaki... So it's related to S Group. That mountain will be tough to scale. Rumors say the deceased have begun dipping into the protection money and drug supply, and on a pretty significant scale, too, from what I heard. A woman getting her hands on the protection money? Sounds like a man's behind it. Not a lot of women do that thing themselves. Well, he's dead anyway. The body just hasn't been found yet. About that, her man's apparently alive. What, alive? Maybe he'll die soon? Vermin usually exterminate other vermin. I think we have a very nice self-cleansing system going on. Anyway, her man, it's, well, Hepe Hojo. Wait, Hojo? Who's that? Hepe Hojo, husband to the housewife who was beaten to death last year in Namizawa. I heard he disappeared after the incident, though. Get it? He was staying at his lover's place, huh? And so the Sonozakis grow ever more suspicious. Where's he now? He's living at a woman's apartment. He must have thought she abandoned him, so he's been searching around shops and other gathering places. Ooh, the murder victim is someone the Sonozakis murdered too. Interesting. Interesting. So they're killing a lot more people than the people we thought they were killing. They're killing like a bunch more people, but this one seems like it's closer to normal gang violence than anything else. Your usual, someone stole from the Yakuza, someone got murdered. I mean, it's not very normal or relaxing, but it's also like a little bit less insane than just murdering ritual murder and torture, right? Like, she got murdered, but... Or wait, no, she did get murdered, ritually tortured to death. Huh. Okay. That stuff was still there, but I mean, like, the reason she was is much more clear-cut than, like, the ritually just murdering people at random. Or if they haven't, even if they haven't done anything actually bad. Whereas in the previous arc, they were just like murdering people for basically nothing, and a bunch of people who literally did nothing just got killed anyway. This one at least makes sense. Like, okay, well, you messed with their money, you get murdered. Okay, an interesting chapter to be sure. Very relaxing, and I think we might see the start of some tense stuff starting in the next arc, but in the next couple chapters, but I'm afraid we're not going to get to those tonight. This will be the last of the Higurashi we go through today.